a time.
Life button, sailing another
Um,
cruise.
we're
Life button.
woohoo! Okay, we're live and we're stealing time from the cosplayers. I am so sorry, but it just seems like we have been having one of those days where we're kind of chasing each other out of each other's rooms. This one's my fault because if you were watching the previous panel, we had a small smidgen of time for the artists, and I wanted to expand a little bit on our conversation because Rob, this is to you. A lot of people don't know that you are an artist because you've been on camera so much and you've been advocating for so many other people that people maybe not realize that you do, in fact, do art.
Well, I do. I write. I'm not necessarily an artist. I do have credited art to my credit, but I wouldn't brag about it. I do digital art. I do a lot of the logos and stuff, but I'm more the writer. And it's funny
That's
because
still art.
it depends who you ask. I have some other artists who will be like, "Well, writing is different," and some people are like, "It's all art." So it depends how you look at it. I love creating things, and I always kiddingly say that my words inspired the art. And Melanie, as a writer to an artist, how important is it getting the right script written for you?
Oh, it's absolutely important. I mean, it's even if you think about it, storyboarding. I mean, sometimes, honest to God, if I'm doing something for like a friend or like a friend hooks me up with a writer, and it's like, look, I'm just trying to, I have an idea for a comic, and I just need, he's giving me great notes and everything. I honestly, I don't care how bad you are at drawing. Those thumbnails coming from a writer give me everything to know what the feeling is, what they want in those panels, because in a comic, in sequential art, you're basically scripting your body language. And that's how important writing is when you're doing art. Yes, a lot of my portraits are either like different scenes and everything, from TV or whatnot. But the writing is what makes that piece that gives the story of what's going on. Or like, heck, let me just grab one off the wall real quick. Okay, so this one, if you've seen The Hobbit, this is where Radagast the Brown. This is literally the scene, because it was one of those things where as I'm watching it, I had to say, this is the scene I need. I want him when he tells Gandalf that these are Rassobel rabbits. I want to see them try. Because in the entire film, you just saw Radagast as just this blithering, funny brown wizard on his head. It just was weird. But this was the moment where he had this fire in his eyes and this intensity. And that's credit to the actor and to the writer to be wanting to paint that. So that's how important the writing and the story is, because without that moment, I'm not going to be able to capture that intensity.
Yeah, I always say that words and communicating.
And I think that speaks a lot to. Yep, go ahead, Rob.
I was just saying.
I think I'm lagging.
Yeah, you might be. I was saying how important it is for us as writers to try to be as expressive, because we really do have to inspire the artist. And, sometimes it depends on the script. Sometimes I can write words and people get it right away. And some other artists are like, tell me more. And I love that. Oh, really? I get to tell you more? Because a lot of artists at first want that short little description. When you tell a writer to write more, they're like, yes, thank you. It's like giving artists more paper. You're like, yes, I can tell you more. This person was born in 1912. And you tell them the whole backstory, and they're like, no, I just need to know if there was a tree. But thanks, Rob. Thanks for all the info.
So to me, that you need that collaboration, so that way you're essentially you're both the artist and the writer is doing the job. If you want to kind of make this analogy to, if you're watching a film, you're both the actor. So you need the writer to be there to tell you, and this is the director. They're telling you exactly what's going on, so that way you can get that page to look exactly and convey the same emotion. Where you're looking at, you're like, oh my God, this is amazing. You need that. I mean, I know artists who were like, nah, just like to Rob's point, I just need to know if there was a tree back there, man. It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to position the camera right. I want to make sure that they're looking at them like side-eyed, or that kind of. I want that information.
Right.
As a writer, I understand camera angles, and I have I can't draw, but I have the ideas of it. So when I'm working with someone, they're like, wow, you really are artistic. Because I'll be like, no, drop down a little bit, go sideways like this. And I'll do like the horrible diagrams that I can do, and they're like, ugh. And I'm like, why do you think you're here? All right, just look at what I did
Right.
and make it better.
So in essence, Melanie, when it comes to a picture, when people say a picture is worth 1,000 words, it actually is meaning that the pictures are worth 1,000 words to you.
Absolutely.
When you draw it off of them there. And as our geekdom's concerned, for a better term, a stasis cube of that moment, a single moment that can read into what the artist is portraying as far as what makes them project those thousands of words. You project in that one moment there with Sylvester, my boy.
Well, it's
Yeah, and I'm gonna jump in really quickly because to kind of segue into what you were saying earlier is when you get these descriptions and things like that, or you see a moment in time, and with Brenda, when you're doing the animal portraits and things, you're doing people's babies, and they've got to be like a really tough client. Because you don't want to get it wrong. No pressure there, right?
No pressure at all. They definitely can be.
Mm-hmm. And I try to keep it positive and stuff like that, but there must have been some nightmare clients that you guys have worked with before. Is there like one short story that we can impart before the cosplayers kick us out? Either a positive or a nightmare one. I'm good with either.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go, Brenda. Go, Brenda.
Well, I was just thinking of
Thinking about it.
Of a Great Dane that I did, and she kept nitpicking, and I had to redo it and over and over and over again. She was a hairdresser, and I guess she was used to people doing that to her, so she kept doing that to me, and I just remember that was early on, and so now I'm like, okay, maybe 1 or 2 edits, and that's it. I'm not going to keep doing it over and over again. But that's just the only.
How about you, Melanie?
It's that same kind of thing of getting reproofed and someone saying that doesn't look right, and them not knowing what they want. So you're trying to pull out what they're trying to want. It's almost like the same thing as a graphic designer. It's the nightmare of, oh, can you make it pop?
Yeah.
I don't know what make it more exciting. Make it pop. I need something, but I don't know what. Well, I'm not a mind reader. My magic wand doesn't work. You're gonna have to give me some more words. So
at some point you have to just say enough is enough. I can cut it down. I can do so many edits, and then after that, if you don't like it, maybe you should find another artist.
Well, I think the biggest horror story is paid. When you're not getting paid for what you do, or you're paying for something and it's not being produced. That's it. Beyond that, it's up to the consumer to decide if they like it or not. You did your job right, you'll find a fan base. But if you can't get someone to pay you, it destroys what you worked for because you have a bad taste in your mouth. And if you can't get an artist to complete it, you have to go back to go. And you've lost thousands of dollars, thousands of possibly hours working on something that an artist won't finish, and or worse, it never comes out, which is the most heartbreaking thing that can happen.
Yeah. All right. Well, I just want to go through and again, shout out where we can follow you guys. And then we're going to start booting you guys out and letting the cosplayers in here because, they're all dressed and ready to go. They're looking good. Yes, you are. See, I see them in the queue. You guys can't.
Well, you can follow me at
Who wants to go first?
Brenda.
And I'm at Pieces of Melee, Facebook, Twitter. You can find me even on the piecesofmelee.com.
You can find me at mranderson.com and find thousands of other great creators, artists, and writers alike at indieadvocates.com, the global digital Comic-Con.
Christian, wake up.
I'm not an
Wake up.
artist.
You can find Christian.
You can find Melanie Dean at the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS radio show.
Good Lord.
The Legend of the Traveling TARDIS.
Somebody poke Christian. Tell him wake up. Okay, we're out. Go watch some awesome cosplay. Thank you.
Get out.
Thank you so much.
Leo, I'm popping you back in here. Where are you?
I'm here. What do we got?
There you are.
Yeah.
All right.
How do we got
You're
here?
booting me out because if you need to see.
All right.
I'm going to boot myself out so you guys have an extra seat.
Okay. Well,
I'll be in the background.
I'm gonna need a host to rotate people around. Okay, who do we got here?
No, Matthew, you're not in either. Okay. Well, I meant it doesn't seem like there's a rotation. I've got 3 people. Let's go ahead and add them.
Yes, who do we got?
Holy cow! There.
All right, we got. All right,
And boom.
we got Janet, and we got Lynn. Oh, there we got Lynn and okay. Lower your devices. Somebody's feedback is going into the loop.
Yeah, everybody, go ahead and kill your music or whatever you got going out over there. Although I love the Haunted Mansion music, trust me.
All right, Janet and Chuck, how you guys doing?
We're doing great.
All right, what you guys got for us today?
Go ahead.
Oh, well, first of all, we want to say hello to everybody. We hope everyone is keeping safe and healthy. It's great to see all
Yeah.
these beautiful faces. I feel like I'm at a con, and that's a beautiful thing. We thought we'd do a little magic for you this evening. Something a little different, maybe a little fun. So we hope you enjoy.
Lower your speaker because it tends to
Yeah,
feedback.
if anybody's got a speaker, it needs to be lowered or eliminated because it's feedbacking into the loop. There we go.
All right, can you hear us?
I can hear you.
Can you hear us?
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
You guys
yeah.
are 5 by 5. You're perfect. Go ahead and show us what you got.
All right.
Okay, well, a lot of people know that we actually do cosplay, but a lot of people
I
realize
would never guessed.
we've been doing this for about 30 years. So instead of doing some cosplay tonight, we thought about bringing in magic.
All right.
One of my stage shows that I used to travel with. And that is not me this time. So I like to start with my first piece and something very, very simple. And taking off my jacket is not part of the trick.
It's a beautiful day.
I'm sorry, I don't have any dollars to hand out at this moment.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Hello, Jenny.
Exactly. So I like to start off with a red silk. Now, a lot of people don't realize we do call these red silks, and just to explain why we call it a red silk, it's red and it's made of silk. So
I thought you just made Janet disappear. You just put her off camera.
right. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the red silk, and as you can see, I'm just gonna slowly push it into my hand.
Yeah.
And everybody at home, every single one of these tricks, I have no problem if you want to try these at home. What I'm going to do is give it a magic pass and make it vanish. Just like nothing in my hands, nothing here, nothing in between the fingers, nothing here. But watch. What I'm going to do is take the air, blow it into my hand over here. As the hand goes off camera, I love that.
There we go.
Yeah.
What else you got in there?
Apparently, none of us got the red silk memo, so none of us can try this at home.
You can try it with a handkerchief. You can try it. You can even try it with another person. That's a very interesting show. Okay, so the next trick I have is something that mystifies even me when I do the performance. And I have myself 3 ropes. I have myself a little rope, I have myself a medium-sized rope, and I have myself a longer rope. And if you can hold that right there.
Absolutely.
What I'm going to do is take them and put them in my hands. I'm going to take the little rope, put it in my hand. I'm going to take the medium-sized rope. I'm going to put it next to the little rope in my hand. And I'm going to take the large rope, put it inside my hand to demonstrate that all different size. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take the ends of the rope, bring them up to join the other ropes. And then the long rope like that. I'm going to make a couple, separate the ends, a magic pass, and I'm going to attempt to take the ropes, and make them, stretch them, and stretch them, making them all the same size. So I've got 1 rope, I have the 2 rope, and I have 3 ropes, all the same lengths.
All right.
Now I'm going to take and put it back in my hands again. I'm going to snap my hands just that quickly. The spell is broken. As I'm back to the little rope, I'm back to the medium rope, go back to the large rope.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Hey.
All right, Janet, what can you do now?
I don't do anything. I just stand here.
She's my beautiful.
Oh, okay.
She's your beautiful assistant.
I'm going to do a trick I actually do for kids. Kids love it. So, in the fashion of Easter, I'm going to use, this is my rabbit trick. I'm going to come a little bit closer. So I'm going to take the rabbit, and the rabbit has a house. I'm going to take the rabbit and put him inside his house. There's his house. I'm going to put him inside the house just like that. I'm going to close the doors. Now, I need everybody out there in the audience to play along with me, because this is an amazing, amazing trick that I'm just still don't know how it works. So there's a common thing about rabbits. As we know, rabbits are very timid. And if you ever approach a rabbit, he would probably run. If you sneak up on a rabbit, you could actually scare him. Well, this rabbit's no different. In fact, we're not going to sneak up on the rabbit. We're actually going to scare the rabbit deliberately, and I'll show you what happens when we scare the rabbit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to close the rabbit so we can kind of sneak up on him a little bit closer. And then on the count of 3, I want everybody to yell boo, okay? So I'm going to count down. 1, 2, 4.
Boo!
No. 3, not 4. We're going to try this one more time. Leo, was that you?
No.
Here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Boo!
Ooh.
And what you did is you scared the rabbit. You scared him.
Uh-oh.
That was on the mansion.
That's good, because Donnie Darko was scaring me at that moment there.
We're not going to go real quiet. Oh, there he's back to normal again. We're going to try it one more time. A little bit quicker. We're going to go 1, 2, 3.
Boo!
Ooh.
Boo!
Ooh.
Yeah,
Boo!
you scared him again.
Oh my.
Oh my gosh.
And again, as the rabbit calms down, he's calm down.
Uh-oh, you guys are lagging.
Oh, we got a lag on the.
And a lot of people, this is a lot of people.
Janet, you're lagging.
Oh, it's done. I know it's how it's done. You're turning it around. Do you all want to see the backside?
Yes, I do. Backside.
Do you all want to see the backside out there?
Slight lag, but yeah, we see it. You're fine.
Let me show you the backside. Ready?
Boo!
Make that disappear, please. Janet, make it disappear. That's the trick we don't want to know.
The rabbit has a backside as well.
Oh.
That's the trick. Go figure that one out.
All right, guys. Thank you. Woo!
Yeah. Now we got Lynn and Ray Ballard. You two guys, how you guys doing?
We're doing good. We're doing real good.
All right. Show us what you got. How you guys doing?
We are doing very well.
All right. What you got there? What you got on there as a cosplay? That's steampunk?
Yes,
No,
it is.
they're going to Walmart in that, I guess. That's the official mask that they can use. State approved.
Yes, this is my shopping outfit now. I never knew I would actually have to wear it all the time.
Nice.
Kind of have to get this to be able to get my TP faster than anybody else. This is always nice. Respirator, breathing. You can talk.
Oops, how'd I get in there?
She's just sitting there.
We seem to experience some technical difficulties.
So where do you normally cosplay with that?
Actually, I've been all over doing this. You could see me at a lot of the little Comic Cons. I'm up at Renninger's during the steampunk events there. There's a lot of times I'll do this. I'll actually just wear this out in the street just to have fun sometimes.
And how long did it take you to put that together?
It took about a month.
Wow. Now, is this all stuff that you fashioned together? Were you like over at the Joann's Fabrics and all that stuff, or you're hitting the hardware stores and everything? What was your process to put this all together?
So this is almost completely made out of foam, EVA foam from Harbor Freight.
Oh, wow.
Like my heart actually comes from the dollar store. My goggles are antique welding goggles, and this is an airsoft mask. The rest of this, everything you see, is made out of foam, PVC pipe, and plastic.
Okay, and what was your inspiration behind it? Because the first thing that comes to my head is like Mad Max.
So we always come up with a story. I'm going to actually remove the mask here for a little bit to talk to you guys.
No, put it back on. It was much better. Put it back on.
Christian.
So we have characters, and our characters on this point are: what if the War of the World actually was real? And so we took and we developed characters that War of the Worlds actually happened. The government stepped in, told Orson Welles, kind of hypnotized him, drugged him, made him get on the radio and say that it was all fake and, that's it. See you guys. And we were part of the group that was going in and cleaning up everything.
Well, you keep saying we. Who's the other person?
You probably don't see her. They've got her off screen right now. That's Crimson over there, Crimson Airwave.
Oh, okay. All right.
Officer.
Gotcha. We're gonna get her. There she is.
Lynn, how you doing?
Hi. So now, when you're at a con, what is like the pose that you do when you're taking photos for people, for fans?
A lot of times, it just matters what character we're in. Like Chuck and Janet, they join us on a lot of times when we're out, or we'll join with them. One of the things that I found out about Chuck is that we both do magic. So when I'm doing my steampunk wizard, I'll actually do some up close magic with kids, and that kind of stuff, and have fun with them. Most of the time, people just like just posing with us, and we're usually in a fight scene, or we're usually having fun. My favorite thing to do is scare little kids, I think, at cons. Because once I put this mask on, it freaks them out.
Very nice. And so is the weapon there? Is that PVC pipe also?
Actually, this is a bunch of broken old guns that toy guns that we took it all apart and combined a whole bunch of different guns and painted it, stained it. As you can see.
Wow. How do you get past security with that?
Actually,
well, thank God we're usually either panelists or exhibitors. So we're there so early in the morning that after the first night of us loading in, they'll see all our stuff and they're just like, hey guys, how's it going?
Okay. I was going to say, the traveling interesting when. Yeah, don't get pulled over with that.
we do have our concealed permits. We have to go around and deal with this. So.
I'm gonna bring in C and J cosplay and here on the big screen also because they didn't get a chance to really talk about their cosplay and the process of putting this together and creating your characters. Tell us a little bit about that.
So we're big Disney geeks, big Disney geeks.
Oh
And,
yeah.
working at Disney.
Correct.
And one of my favorite rides, or one of our favorite rides, is I believe Haunted Mansion.
Yeah, definitely.
So we use the Haunted Mansion as inspiration for our costumes. So these are our steampunk versions of Haunted Mansion costumes.
Correct.
Okay, and then so do you try to stay local to the cosplays, or do you travel? I mean, where do you get dressed for your characters and things?
Where do we get dressed for it?
Well, I mean, like, do you travel to different states, or do you kind of stay local?
So we live in the Tampa area, so we do all the local Tampa. This is where Orlando lives. So usually we stick to those two areas, Lakeland, anywhere in between. Maybe not to the East Coast very much.
Not much.
Yeah, to Melbourne or anything
And
like
then
that.
in 2015, we actually lived in Salt Lake City. So we actually went to Salt Lake Comic-Con a couple times. The Comic-Con and the MegaCon, that was quite interesting because we got to meet celebrities like from Florida, and that was kind of neat. And to see the different area, the people, the costumes, it's quite interesting to see that.
So depending on where the event is and what we're wearing, sometimes we will basically just have on a t-shirt and shorts and then gear up in the parking lot because we have a lot of pieces like what Ray's wearing where it's a lot of foam and different things like that we can't drive in that. So we have to wait till we get there and get ready in the parking lot. We do that a lot.
Although it is fun to drive in prosthetic when I did my Darth Vader with the Anakin open face and everything, and I got a lot of looks from people.
I can imagine just driving around and people doing a double take when they're driving.
They'll take pictures from the car, and I'll just look and smile, and it's a lot of fun to see that. And let me tell you what, teaming up with Ray and some other friends is just awesome. We always love to meet ups, and hang out, and it's just really neat, and help each other out. It's really neat to be able to do that in the community.
So, what's your favorite cosplay? I mean, I'm sure that you don't have just the one costume.
Oh,
and tell us how many you have, because I want to be a fly in the wall in your closet.
Okay, so
we wish we could walk you out there, but
yeah, we took a total about a year ago, and that doesn't include the costumes I made in the last year. And at that time, we were for her together. It's a combination of both hers and mine. Was about 150 costumes. So in the last year, we usually make about 9 or 10 a year. I've kind of cut back a little bit. So I'd say we have about 170 costumes, but then we repurpose some of the costume pieces as well for other costumes.
Yeah, we have different genres.
Okay, so who actually does the shopping and stuff like that? Do you? Whoops, I'm sorry. I think we're lagging. Sorry. You go ahead. I was interrupting.
We were saying we have a lot of different genres of costume. We have superhero, steampunk, sci-fi, just many different genres that we cosplay.
And it's fun because I never get bored.
Any favorites?
Oh, mine would be Lady Thor. I love that Lady Thor costume.
And mine is Captain America. I know we're staring around superheroes. I want to get back into doing some more Doctor Who.
Hey, how you doing?
So I love Captain America. He's one of the characters that I actually can play, and I actually was able to meet Steve Rogers, I'm sorry, I'm Chris Evans. I'm trying that again.
He is Steve Rogers.
Yeah, exactly right. He is Steve Rogers. So that's kind of
well.
cool.
I'm going to try and get you guys in the group here.
Okay.
Group shot.
Oh, looks like we lost Leo.
Oop, where's Leo?
Breaker. This is Leo.
I'm going to get him off this.
This is Leo. I am on my cell phone.
Yeah, we're gonna put you in the queue there. Well, see, one of the things is, unfortunately, when we have these live streams, if more than one person is talking, then nobody can hear a thing. So let me see. I'm just going to mute myself. And if you guys have like a story that you want to tell, go ahead and go wild. We want to hear it, and kind of get into character, because that was the thing. We wanted people to have a reason to get dressed, and just kind of share your story, and like how you might interact with your fans. So I'm going to put myself on mute so I can shut up.
Okay. And as Ray knows, My biggest inspiration for steampunk, and Lynn, there's Lynn, it is Jules Verne. You've got so many crazy, amazing novels out there, and I'm trying to do a cover for every novel.
What were you in there? Christian, is that your TARDIS acting up?
Always is acting up
No,
there,
I think,
but
I
it's not
think
me.
it's Crimson. I think it's Crimson Airwave. Whatever device you're on might be too close to the other one.
If you have a
So
speaker
if
that's
everyone's-
on, yeah, either push the speakers away from the microphone or if they're too close because it's feedbacking.
Oh, did I? Oh, I didn't mean to put them both on mute. There we go. Let's see. Let's see if that works. All right. So far, so good. All right. Good.
Yay.
I know one of the things that we like to do when we go to different towns and that, we love to get dressed up and just walk down the street. And it doesn't matter if we're in this costume or we're in a different pair of garb, but just that reaction. We actually were on a podcast and we had done a podcast, and then we ended up going down to Ybor afterward. And we were doing basically what we call steampunk light. And people were running out of the restaurants to have their picture taken with us. And it was so much fun. And then people just start wanting to talk and find out how we do the stuff, why we do it. And we just love meeting with the people.
So, what started you on the cosplay journey? And I'm going to go around and unmute as I go. Go ahead, Argo, since you're already on speaker.
All right. About little over, it's going to be almost 8 years ago, Tampa Bay Comic-Con was going to be happening. And I asked my wife, Lynn, do you want to go to a Comic-Con? And she was like, absolutely. And I said, great, we don't want to go with superheroes. What do you want to do? And we said, how about steampunk? And at 7 years ago, almost no one had really heard of steampunk. And when we showed up there, literally I think there was us two on that Saturday, and then there was a guy, a steampunk Boba Fett. And that was it. And people were just blown away. And we look back at those costumes that we did back then, and we are just like, oh my God, I'm embarrassed to say we even went out looking like that, because they were just really, really cheesy. So
It was the first time.
a little bit. Yeah. And Chuck will know about I guess, what would you call it? The hazards of wearing foam a couple summers ago. Yeah, that was a scary incident.
I like meeting the people, having fun, interacting with them. We have a lot of fun making up our backstory for each character. And we actually, I almost write a little mini book on each one.
Hold on. I'm on mute. Why haven't you?
Well, that's actually something that's kind of in the works, is we actually want to do not so much writing. I'm not a writer, but I'm a digital media person. And so I film. And I would love to do short little stories. One of our first characters that we did are time-traveling steampunk wizards set in J.K. Rowling's Harry Potter series. And it's that plot hole. So I actually want to shoot some little series where we show up and we fix it, and then we're out of there.
Okay. So, what was this thing about the foam incident?
Oh, I want to let Chuck tell you about that.
Okay.
So
the dangers of wearing foam costumes.
Let me just interject. So it was like a Rosencrantz and Guildenstern are dead. It's like a play with inside a play that you were doing, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, got it.
How you holding up, Christian?
I'm holding up well.
Good, good. I'm gonna put C and J on the mic now, and I'm gonna mute these guys.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, so what was
Okay.
because I would say most adults
Yes.
don't start off and just say, hey, just one day, like, here I am, I'm almost 50 and I'm just going to start cosplaying. Or maybe I would. I don't know. I'm kind of inspired, I have to admit. But what got you started in cosplay?
Go ahead.
So it started, I would say, about the same time as Ray was mentioning earlier. It was about 8 years ago. I really wanted to go make it. I wanted to go so badly. And we had never even knew what cosplay was. I just wanted to go because it looked like fun. I would see the programs, so many things going on. My children both went. And this guy was adamantly against going, just adamantly. And I was like, look, I'll buy your ticket. I will pay you. I'll drive you there. Just go. Let's go. So I bought his ticket. We got in a big old fight that morning. All we had on when we went there was a pair of jeans and a fandom T-shirt. That's it.
Wait, Janet. So you had to be coerced to go to a convention, Janet. I never want to go to a convention for the next 50 years of my life. Can you handle me now?
Goodness, you know I'm gonna make you go. What's a convention without the traveling TARDIS? Come on.
That's true.
Thank you. We're all.
I just wanted to see if you're going to help me out. With my expenses there.
Yeah, all that jazz.
Yeah.
I took him kicking and screaming pretty much. That's, and we got in there.
True story.
Hello, Deadpool. We got in there and
Oh my God.
he just started taking people in and he was like amazed. And as we were leaving, I'll let you tell.
I saw them leaving.
Yeah, it was Deadpool, yes.
It was Deadpool. That's what it was. But her in red, white, and blue. As we were walking out, we're actually on the way to the car. We passed him, and I turned to Janet and I said, "Next time we come back, I'll be in full costume." So what did I do? When we got home, I went online and I started looking up Captain America costumes. So I'm like, I found this quote unquote amazing Captain America costume for close to $250. I dropped the money, and it was from the Avenger with the spandex leotard and everything. Got home, got it. I came in. I was all excited. Came in, unboxed it, and it was the biggest garbage I've ever seen. So I took it all apart. The accessories were all rubber. So I ended up making the belt, making a helmet, making boots, making all the accessories. That's what started cosplay. I'd be up 24 hours at, not going to bed, working on his costume.
Yeah. And he made it much better. So much better.
And it's funny because the cowl is made from the bottom part of the bed skirting.
We repurpose things all the time.
And it was a perfect material for it. So the cowl is actually our old bed skirting from the bed comforters that we had years ago.
True story.
And then I wanted to learn foam
story.
And I did Deathstroke.
Not Deadpool.
Deathstroke.
Yeah.
And I started working with foam with that, and that was my first. And now one of my goals to finish up this year,
Deadpool behave,
is to redo my Deathstroke costume.
Well, he's Deadpool. We don't expect him to behave.
And believe it or not, I am wanting to do a Deadpool.
Yay.
Uh-oh.
Yay.
You got competition, Mr. Reynolds.
We are currently working on Ghostbusters. I'm actually making a prototype back out of foam.
Okay. So that's the story I want to get to. What's this foam story?
Okay. Wow. So last year for Sci-Fi Berto, I wanted to do the Borg from Star Trek Next Generation. And I took a lot of time, detail work, heavy costume. I made it from the floor mat foam. And I used part of my old Deathstroke costume as some of the pieces. And I had a full prosthetic on my face. I had the wires to the whole 9 yards. Well, to get into these costumes, to get into that costume is about a half hour. To get out of the costume is about 20 minutes. So what would I do if I had to go to the bathroom? Well, you know what? I solved that problem. I wasn't going to drink water. Therefore, I wasn't going to have to pee. And needless to say, I dehydrated so bad I ended up with a heat stroke. And I collapsed.
Yeah, the Borg went down at Sci-Fi Bartow. Anyone who knows the story. That story got around.
And that's what happened.
Deadpool, are you having fun there?
I am. Where's Leo?
Where is Leo? I don't know. He disappeared on us.
So that's the end. Meredith, you're muted.
I keep forgetting that. It's been a long weekend. It's been a long weekend. Christian can attest to this.
Yeah,
I'm going to get Crimson on here so she can tell her story. And the reason why I'm kind of muting the rest of you is so that we don't have that negative sound and where nobody can hear us. And Crimson, you're hold on. There you go. You're on.
Not anymore. I'll open up her mic.
Just a little bit more detail is that I can hear the echo, but when we first did the first cosplay at the Tampa Bay Comic-Con, it was like, yeah, I'll be honest, our costumes were so, pardon my language, crappy. But even then, we thought of a backstory for it. And then we were going through meeting new people. And I mean, the way they reacted, because they've never seen steampunk before. It was amazing how they reacted to it. In fact, I had to tell some people, excuse me, I have to go to the ladies' room. Just, let me come back in just a few moments, But I don't know. I like how everybody gets together and there's a lot of comrade. What's the word I'm looking for?
Camaraderie.
Help me, hon. Well, the friendship.
Yeah, the friendship.
Okay, the family. Yeah, camaraderie of the
word.
friendship. Okay.
And I've made tons of new friends and so forth like that. And I might someday write some short stories about all the different characters because I love writing.
Gotcha there. Argo, I got a question for you. And I'm gonna round robin and unless Meredith wants to come back in. I got Leo here, but Leo's there we are.
Come on, Leo.
So many things. Yeah. How are we all doing?
Hi, Leo.
Deadpool, you being a good boy? Deadpool. Look who you
Leo's
got
my guy.
above you.
I love you, Leo.
Oh, I love you too.
He said it. He finally said it.
But does he mean it? That's the thing. Does he absolutely mean it?
That's something else.
He says a lot of things to me. And I'll try to open up the stream if anybody wants to take this question. Was there ever a time you cosplayed somewhere that was outside of the convention? And I think, Crimson, you kind of answered this question, that you got dirty looks or just like, I made a mistake by going to Walmart in this. And Argo, I'll open that question to you.
Really, I've never had that problem of anybody ever giving me a dirty look. Maybe a weird look.
Okay, that's what I'm looking for. Weird look. How about that?
Oh yeah.
Weird look.
Yeah,
Okay.
sometimes when we're dressed up, they'll be like, where's the parade? What's going on? Is there things? Some of the stuff I wear, I call it my merce. It's my man purse.
Mm-hmm.
And I had actually one guy come out and was like, hey, not very many guys I know can wear a purse and look as good as you do in it.
Nice.
And I was like, all right, thank you. Hey.
Yeah. Well, they saw you and they probably thought Dakota Fanning and Tom Cruise are going to run out.
I don't think I've ever had anybody negatively look at me or say anything weird. They're always just kind of, especially if I wear this,
yeah,
interested in all the detail that's in it.
Gotcha. Deadpool, how did you get started? I kind of get the idea, but let's hear your story there.
Oh, quickly, without being bored. I started I put it on my fuck it list. So, and it was MegaCon 2019, and then I ended up getting addicted. So I've been doing it for a year. That's it. And that's how I got started. I've been going to the cons for about 2 years.
Gotcha. What's the what's the oddest thing that's happened to you in that outfit?
The oddest?
Yeah,
Oh.
there's Deadpool all over the place, and there's always got to be that moment where something odd has happened.
The only odd thing I really was Infinity Con in Orlando. We went. It was very boring. There was hardly anyone there.
Oh my god!
Oh, come on now. You were there.
So me and my friend Mike Ginsel, the Green Lantern. I went outside and we just started. They had a Jehovah's Witness convention. So I just started messing with all the Jehovah's Witnesses.
Okay.
It was fun. And I almost got called. The cops called on me.
Does anybody remember like MegaCon like 2 or 3 years ago, where the Rosen? I think it was either the Rose. Yeah, the hotel that's right next to it, the Rosen Center, where they had the Libertarian party coming in. They actually had the political party come out. And I remember going across the sidewalk, going into the convention, because the escalators going from the convention room into the hotel go through the convention area. So you had all these cosplayers going around to the Libertarian convention area. This was during the election. Yeah, I was just like, that was just weird. But that just reminded me of that moment there. I know for a fact, I'm going to open up C&J. I know for a fact that there might be some people who are trying to start cosplay, but they might have. I know there's some people I've talked to in the past. You know, they want to get over the hoop of the negativity that they have, like body shaming and stuff like that. If somebody's trying to start out in cosplay and trying to get over that hurdle, what kind of recommendation would you give them?
I would tell them just do it and have fun, because they're going to be so incredibly accepted at these conventions. You know, the outside world, if anyone had family and people, like my family doesn't understand it. It's not that they don't support it. They just think I'm weird for it. They just don't really get it. But that doesn't bother me at all, because you know what? I have another family and it's in cosplay. We are a family, and that's what I would tell them. Go to your first convention, have fun. You know what? You need someone to pal around with? Me too, Ray. I would pal around with you. You know, come be absolutely, Christian. Yeah. Come be a part of our group, because we are a family. And that's exactly what I would tell them. Have fun, do it.
I get some of my tenants who come in and they'll talk to me and stuff about it, and I'll show them the pictures, and they're like, I've always wanted to go to one of those conventions, and I just feel really weird. I'm like, here's my number. We can meet up. We'll walk with you. We'll show you around. We'll introduce you to some of our friends. At Sci-Fi Bartow, my district manager came out.
He did.
And we met. We walked right past him and stopped talking to him. And he's just like, if I didn't know what I was looking for, I would not have recognized you. And that's another thing where I always tell people, I said, when you're in costume, you're playing that character.
Absolutely.
It's not Chuck. It isn't Janet. It's the character you're playing. It's just like when I go up on stage or something like that. It's the character you're playing. We're working at Disney. Right. It's the character you're playing. Right. You know, you're playing a part. You're playing a role. And just have fun doing it. If you have fun doing it, that's what it's all about. It's about putting smiles on other people's faces. It's not about the competition, or my costume's not as good as that person's costume. It's not about any of that. And I try to explain that to people. I said it's about making people smile, bringing people's favorite heroes or villains or television personalities or movie personalities to life. Seeing that, not in a picture, but that is, right there. For me, it's showing, people. I explained to my mom. I said, and my mom's an artist. I said, Mom, this is my version of 3D art. That's what it is. It's life-size 3D art. My mom does porcelain dolls. I said, it's like me. It's like bringing one of those to life.
Absolutely.
I said, it's a way that we can, help each other. There's so much negativity in the world before all this stuff that's going on right now, that it's a way of bringing a smile to somebody's face, or a child, or just like seeing their superhero or the steampunk hero or Deadpool or Doctor Who or something like that, bringing that to life. That's what it's all about, and that's why we continue to do it.
Got it. Leo, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. How we doing?
No, Janet, go ahead. I'm sorry, I didn't catch up.
The body shaming thing, like, in all honesty, I think people think they can only cosplay if they are this size or have the coloring that they need for that character, and that is so not true. I mean, I play a lot of characters with blonde hair, and I have black hair, so wigs, people, if you want contacts, go ahead, pop them in. And your body size does not matter. That's what I would tell them. You play whatever character you have a passion about. is going to make you feel absolutely. Absolutely.
And there's no problem being 4'11" if your character is 6
Nobody
feet.
is 4'11" that I so,
we need to make one, man. We need to make it. Leo, I've got control of the microphone, so ask away if there was a particular cosplayer you want to ask a question to.
Let me ask Ray Ballard. You do incredible steampunk work. What is some of your best steampunk work, and at what convention?
Some of my best. Actually, I love doing like my power arm. I'm starting to do more and more. Like my power arm is. Let me back up just a little bit so you can see. It's all of this.
All right.
And that's all made out of foam and plastic, recycled material. That was actually one of my favorite things to make. And it just being able to sit down, like, we'll get Lynn, we'll get Janet, we'll get Chuck, we'll get T, and we'll do panels on how to build stuff. And that's actually my favorite thing to do is when we go into a con and we have one of these panels and we bring in some of the stuff or we give some ideas to people about how to build things and we blow their minds by just telling them some of the simple things you can find to build stuff out of. And a lot of times when you build stuff, I always tell people, if it looks cool, buy it. Absolutely buy it. Because sooner or later, either you're going to use it or like Janet or Chuck might stop over and see it, or T might see it, or our other friends that stop over might see it and go, hey, can I have that? Because I think I can do something with it. And we're like, take it. We go so many times to thrift stores and to different places that when we're, hey, there's someone new. When we look at stuff, we don't look at curtains for curtains. We look at it for fabric, bed sheets, all that kind of stuff. That's how we find some of our best stuff. Yeah, right there. Chuck's looking at some of his stuff.
Ah.
And yeah, I have to do that too every once in a while, Deadpool. I got to throw on these heaters to be able to actually see. Oh, there we go. Yeah.
And okay, let me ask you a question. Now that people are having so much downtime, are you working on your future cosplays, or have you gotten any new ideas or old ideas that you always want to work on? And now that you have the time, are you doing that?
I don't have as much downtime. I'm a teacher in real life. And so I'm still teaching from home 5 days a week and still trying to do as much with my kids as possible.
Okay.
But Argo is getting a makeover. He's going to have new things. He's going to have leg armor that I'm finishing up. He's going to have a big cannon that's going to come off my shoulder. There's going to be some other, it's going to be Argo 2.0. He's going to be, basically he's been addicted to all of the new cybernetics that have been added onto him. So he wants more.
All right, great. Now we have in the StreamYard is Ronald Seaman. How are we doing, Ronald? Great to see you. Ronald, can you hear us? Can you speak? Is your microphone on? Ronald, are we having technical difficulties? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? All right, folks. Somebody's having technical difficulties. Let's talk with Janet and Chuck. Are you folks having downtime right now and working on any cosplays?
So I am the non-essential in the family. Disney is down, as everybody knows. Both Chuck and Megan continue to work. So we put a cosplay together really quickly the other day. I'm sure anyone on our Facebook saw it. We put on our steampunk outfits and we made these fun little plague masks. And yeah, we went outside and took our walk in our little plague mask just as a joke to kind of be funny to remember these times. We just put these together in a day and got them painted up. I added cute little eyelashes to mine to make it a girl. And it was just a fun little thing just to do. It was something we never thought we would, be plague doctors. But
Yeah, creepy.
thank you.
Yes. Now it's a new trend in cosplay now. Plague doctors.
Yeah.
All right.
It's on our Facebook. If you want to check it out.
Okay. Let me see how Ronald is doing. Ronald, can you hear us? Can you say something? Ronald, can you hear us?
Can't hear a thing.
Oh, no, we can hear you. Say something. Ronald. You can't?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
I can't hear anything.
I can hear you. I can hear you. Say something. Say something. All right.
I'm just reading lips.
Yeah, say. Let me text it to you. All right. Can all right, technical. So let's talk about all right, let's see. Everybody's yeah. What's Deadpool doing? Huh?
Nothing. Who keeps muting me?
I don't know.
Is it that one guy? Tell him to quit unmuting me. Damn him.
Okay.
Quit unmuting me.
Okay, we got Deathstroke here in the house.
I haven't heard that before.
Yeah, Deathstroke, why don't you harass Deadpool for a while? You're about the only guy that can do that.
I'm not Deathstroke.
Well, okay. Well, what's with the fingers?
Watch the movie, Leo. Come on. Jeez.
Yes, I know. It's two separate universes, but still.
Am I in a steampunk room? Is this what I'm in?
No, you're in the cosplay room.
Oh, I thought it was steampunk.
Oh, no. You're with the cosplayers. Steampunk is part of cosplaying, guy.
I know.
Yeah. Hey, we got to make you a steampunk Deadpool setup.
That's what I said. But you beat me to it, Leo.
All right.
All right. Now somebody mute me again.
No. All right. It's like fortunately, yeah. Who okay. I can't hear you.
Is that guy can't even hear yet? I can't hear that guy.
Yeah, let's bring in Dietra. All right. And then what else? You guys got any future cosplays that you've been working on that you want to discuss?
I got Deadpool.
Yeah, always Deadpool. Will always be Deadpool.
That's it. That's all I got.
No, all right. How about Chuck and Janet? You guys working on any future projects?
Absolutely. We are working on Ghostbusters right now. We have that up and coming. We have just finished my proton pack. I finished painting that the other day. And Chuck is in the process of building his, which he's about to show you right here. So this is all foam, as you can see. Take it up a little bit, maybe.
Yeah.
There we go. But his is still in the process of being built. Still not together, as you can see. But coming soon, we're going to be busting in an area near you.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Uh-oh.
Oh well.
Come on over. I got Spider-Man here with me. Say hi to Spider-Man.
What up, Spidey? Go Web.
Go Web, go.
Get out of here.
Always fun to be photobombed by one of your kids.
Yes.
I thought it'd be my cat, to be honest. Oh, door's closed.
Mm.
She's sleeping. So yeah, we're planning new stuff. Well,
Is this
Okay.
the question that we'd asked?
I can hear him and I can hear Deadpool.
Oh, okay. We can hear you now, Ronald.
Hi, Ron.
Can you hear me?
Hi, Ron.
Okay, somebody asked.
I just heard you and I heard Leo. I heard a female.
Okay,
and a
Ronald.
male.
Okay,
How you doing,
now
Leo?
you're online. You're 100% Ronald.
And
All right, great. Yeah. Hey, Ronald, what you got? What you got there going on right there and right behind you? What you been working on and making?
Spider-Man behind him.
Yeah. What cosplay do you have right now? Okay, technical difficulties.
We lost him again.
All right. So, folks, what next convention are you hoping to be going to that probably might be able to survive this 2020 season? You think MegaCon might have a shot with that June date?
Nope.
Yeah.
I have to say no.
even if it does, I won't go. It's too much. Too many people. You can't risk getting.
All right. Ronald, you okay there? Can you hear us?
Face is getting on.
All right. Uh-oh. We got the princess here. Come here. Come here. Little sister. So, okay, no. Okay, guys.
Say hello.
All right. Okay, the Ballards. What's your future? Okay, guys.
Can anyone hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Ronald. Say something. Ronald, can you hear us?
We can all hear you. You just got to talk for us, man.
Talk.
Oh, great. I can hear you.
Yes.
But the thing is, I just heard her.
Okay. Now, talk
But
about.
it may have been through someone else's speaker.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just making sure no one else's mouth is moving. I can't tell if Deadpool's talking. I want to talk over him.
I'm not talking.
Okay. I'm just making sure. Wow, this is the most people I've been able to hear for a while. And now I just see me.
Yeah.
Wow. Shock.
So where did everyone go?
Oh my gosh.
All right, play games on the new guy, right?
Oh, it's all yours, man. Talk. Yes, you're on.
You're on the floor, dude.
I have no idea what's going on here, but I'm just here. And I was going to put on some armor, but I was outside working all day, and it's hot, and I felt like being a little more comfortable. But here's my Corona killer right here, ready for action.
That's pretty cool.
And let me see. Over here is my Pegasus armor. And that little gun right there, grenade launcher. I got bored one day. I just wanted to see what I could do with a bunch of junk around the house. So with some toilet paper rolls and paper towel rolls that my wife hadn't thrown out yet, recycled. So I just made that out of them. And the rest of the stuff is all foam. So how long have you guys been doing this?
Been here since 5.
Oh, in the morning?
No.
Oh,
We've been on for about an hour.
okay. So how come I can't see anyone anymore?
Because
Because-
Leo gave you the screens.
You're on the spotlight.
Oh, spotlight. I don't like that. Well, I'm learning something new every day.
Yes,
These headphones don't work well with this hat.
this is all a new experience.
Oh yeah, the
And-
hat's foam also.
Mhm.
I didn't have time to get one, so I had to make one. I had to make a deadline for a con, and I said, let me try this. I've made helmets, so should be able to make a hat. And this one. Everything's foam, including this.
Are we all just gonna stare at each other?
I'm trying to take a
No
picture.
trigger, Florida safe.
That was fun.
Well, maybe not for me, but you know. Oh, okay, Leo. So, what did I miss?
Well, we talked about future costumes that we're working on. Do you have anything you're working on coming up soon?
Now I'm hearing nothing again.
There's Leo.
I'll jump to the other side. Okay, now are we really having technical issues, or you guys just playing a game on me?
Oh, okay. No. Can you hear me now?
I hear you fine now.
Okay. What else have you been working on? Ronald. As far as cosplay, while at home. Are you?
I recently yesterday I started something, which, wow, I should have got that before I got on here. A friend of mine showed me a picture 2 nights ago of the gun from Doom. It's a shotgun from Doom. And I like making weapons. It's the easiest thing to do. And I said, I got to do this. So yesterday I pulled up the picture online and I made it. And it's out there drying right now. So it would be so nice to show you, but I don't have it. I'm not prepared for class. Okay. Oh, wait, I shouldn't have said that. There's a teacher here. Don't give me a bad mark on my first day or detention. But anyway, it's been fun. I've been doing things, just making stuff, what was around the house. Because there was the guy put a challenge out, a stay-at-home build. So you can only build what was around the house. And let me see. I made this. And I only had a set of light. I had a set of lights around the house. This is from Gears of
That's
War.
very nice.
And I had a set of lights that I put in it, and then it just went on the fritz on me, and it wouldn't work, and I had to pull it out. And since this is it's at home build, I have nothing to finish it. But other than that, and I made a mold for this, and I realized I had my stuff, but I didn't have the hardener, so I couldn't even make a mold for this. So I got an idea. I filled it up in the mold with hot glue, and it actually worked.
Nice.
Okay, so you're saying mold. Are you actually using ceramic molds and
No,
creating your own props?
No, I made a mold out of oh, now I'm having a blank. The silicone mold, and I made the piece first out of I used some foam, and I just put some clear coat on it, and then I made the silicone mold, and then when that was cured, I just filled it up with hot glue. And the thing about the parts here that are not painted, like the little white parts, the light shines through it, and it's perfect. It was a perfect blue glow. And
oh wow!
Then the lights just crapped down on me. I don't know what's wrong, and I can't wait to be able to go and get some more. And
Well,
what I did,
how where did you learn to do that?
I kind of didn't. I just at home.
You're just
Friend-
experimenting?
A friend of mine a few years ago, he sent me a picture, and it was something, some Gears of War stuff. And he said, "You should try making this." Give you a backstory. I spent 3 years in and out of hospitals after the army, and I couldn't use my hand too well. I had surgery in this hand, 2 in the shoulder, 1 on that one, the leg, the whole thing, back's messed up all up. And I have severe central vertigo, so I have to be busy or it can take over and I lose a day. It only takes 10 to 15 minutes. So I had to find things to keep busy. And then my son first suggested cosplay. He said, you artistically, and I blew him off for about 4 months. And then one night I typed in cosplay and my head blew up. And then I saw what people were doing, what they were making. I didn't know what it was. I found out the materials. So I got some foam and I got some glue. And I just started putting stuff together. And next thing you know, my niece, she goes by the name of Selexi Cosplay. I didn't even know she was a cosplayer. I don't know there was such a thing. And she kept bugging me about going to a con, and I said, no, I made this thing, it's on a thing, that's about as far as I go. Finally, she got me to go to a con, and it was in Tampa. And I got mobbed, and they opened up the news on me, and I did interviews with places I don't even know what they were, or if some on TV, some on the internet, and I was just stuck in the place for 3 hours watching amazing stuff go by that I wanted to see, and I couldn't move. And the faces changed, but the size of the crowd was the same. So by the time I went there again the next month at the same place, and it was a different con there. And a few months later, I went to my third con, it was MegaCon. And while I was there, I got an offer, an email to be a guest at a convention, and I thought they had the wrong person. And that's how I found out I had pictures on the internet. So I got my first pictures that way. But I just tested things, what was around the house, and I just looked and said, how can I get this to look like that? So I started messing around with foam, heating it and doing things, and seeing exactly how far I could stress it out. So
yeah, more foam stories here.
Yeah, I'm in a wheelchair. I don't do heavy. So I did that in the military. I wanted to be as light as possible. No one told me how hot it could get though.
Yeah, ask Deadpool.
Yeah, I know. Deadpool, you must be like almost a Deadpool right now.
Does your wheelchair go up?
Yes, I'm not in that one right now. It's in the car. It stands up. I'm sorry.
Deadpool's first picks of the
Yeah, that's me.
Yeah. Infinity Time, you beat me in the costume contest.
I didn't mean to. I wasn't even trying to go in there. I told him I wanted to be in a contest.
Yes, he did.
Now,
He beat me.
I have a question for the ladies. Because I had interviewed Deetria Baker a couple of weeks ago, and she said that her debut was the pink hammer. So she was basically in pink spandex with a hammer and an afro. And I was like, girl, you got curves, right? When it comes to your costumes and things like that, does that ever make you reconsider or consider what your costumes might be, or is it one of those things where the cosplay experience, it doesn't really matter, like you can be basically anything?
I always tell people it's called cosplay, not coswork. So I do whatever the hell I want, because I don't know any superheroes in a wheelchair, or some don't look like me. I make things because I make them. I don't even know about some of the things I make. Because some people, after they're fans of a certain game or something, they say, hey, can you make this? And I make it. Suddenly, I'm subject matter expert. I tell people, look, I can't play video games. So video games and vertigo don't work well together. So, but I do know when I like something, I'm going to do it. My first thing I did when I saw that Gears of War stuff, I did it. But I ended up getting pulled into one like a big Gears of War group. I've had some of the makers of the game give me photos of stuff. I had Gears of War 5 armor 2 years at DragonCon before the game came out. And
were you nervous the first time you cosplayed?
Not really. I was just hoping that nothing would break. That's the only thing that I'm nervous about. I was so amazed at stuff. And I was telling people.
Yeah, and I want to ask that question to the rest of you guys. So think about your answer. Were you nervous the first time you went cosplay? Go ahead. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt your answer.
The only thing I was nervous about is that I was entering into a world I knew nothing about. And I didn't know all of this stuff that people knew. I didn't know what things were. I was happy. And, you know, I remember going and I'm looking at stuff. I don't know what it is. And my wife asked me, what's that? What is that? Like, hey, I was getting old with you. And then somebody came by in a Pac-Man suit. We were so happy we knew what something was. But I just, I do what I like. And what people ask. And the one thing that I always remember is that first con I walked in and these people around this guy, he had this cosplay that was freaking amazing. Some kind of armor from some anime or something. I don't know what it was. And I probably know if I see it now. And they were giving him all kind of accolades and all that. Then this kid came up, looked like maybe 14, 15. Probably his first time making something made out of cardboard. But it was from the same series, I guess. They treated him just as well because they loved that character in the game. And right away, I thought, if the rest of the world was like this, this would be a perfect world. And it wasn't until, you know, a few years ago, I started hearing about the underside of it. And I always tell people, do what you want to do. And I said, and if you have trouble with anybody, just tell them where they can get off. If you're scared, come and get me. So there's nothing I fear on this planet. I used to say, except running out of money. My wife's helped me do that so many times, that don't even faze me anymore. So it's just
and I'm gonna open up the question to C and J cosplay. And you know, were you nervous the first time that you went out? Either as a couple or solo, you know, what was that experience like? Because Arachnoid here said that he was worried about props breaking and stuff. Did you have the same issues?
So the funny thing is, back when we first started, we had completely different cosplays at the time. We weren't pairing up the way that we do now. My first cosplay was River Song from Doctor Who, and he was cosplaying Deadpool.
Oh, Captain America on Saturday and Deadpool on Sunday.
And so for us, for both of us, we come from an entertainment background. We both are performers at Disney World. So as far as that part of it, we were not nervous at all. It was just another day, put on a show for people. Kind of felt like that. It was just a lot of fun.
I was proud to show off my costumes because I put a lot of work into them. Like I have pictures of my Deathstroke armor hanging on my wall, drying after I painted them, and I put thumbtacks in the wall. I had this big wall, and it was just hanging off the wall. And I got pictures of that. To this day, I still look at those pictures and laugh.
Yeah.
You know, so I was proud of those, and I spent a lot of time with Captain America. I was more scared that like he said, more scared of my costume coming apart, having costume malfunctions than anything.
Yeah, sometimes that's a little concerning, but other than that, we do it for the fun. It's just fun for us.
Okay, so how long have you been cosplaying? Oh, they froze. Okay, we're going to mute them until they unfreeze, and we're going to pop in Crimson Airwave here. Oops. Can you do that? Can't unmute your guest because they chose to mute themselves. Crimson Airwave, unmute yourself and speak, woman.
Oh my gosh. I haven't heard her
She's
speak
still
yet.
muted. Speak, woman.
You're still muted.
I've got his. I've got your mic. It's okay.
Wait a minute.
There.
Okay, okay, there we go.
Oh, okay. We're
Okay,
going to use our ghost mic.
What would you like to know?
Okay.
Hi, is it-
Hold on. Technical difficulties here. Go ahead. Try that again.
Again. Just leave it.
Okay.
Leave it.
Yeah. So no,
Technical error.
the first time that you've ever cosplayed, you know, where you're like, okay, I can't believe I'm getting dressed and I can't believe I'm going to this public place. You know, what was that like? What were you dressed as, if you remember? And yeah, what was the experience?
Okay, the first time was we were steampunk pirates.
No, steampunk wizards.
No, the first time?
Steampunk wizards at Tampa Bay Comic Con. I'm
Oh,
trying
yeah.
to fill in the picture.
Oh yeah, steampunk wizards.
And you got your pictures in the paper?
That's a later, not that time. A later date we did actually, but I actually did I actually bought Walmart stickers that looked like gold little circles all over my face, so it looked like gears and so forth. And oh gosh, it's been so long, and I'm feeling my age.
But you know, it's one of those things. Like, you know, again, I'm going to age myself because I don't care. I'm going to be 49 this year, and I've never cosplayed except unless you want to say that I kind of dressed up for D&D when I was in college, which was like 30 years ago. You know, and it never occurred to me to get dressed or take on a character and go to these events and stuff. I mean, there had to be some kind of a catalyst. And a C&J, you're kind of different because you've already been performing in Disney. So it was probably a very easy transition for you to just say, hey, we have a day off. Let's go and, I don't know, put on another costume.
I've always been a big Halloween fan. And
okay.
Since the kids were little, I dress up right with them.
Is it something that you always did? Okay, all right. That's what I was going to ask.
I mean, shoot, I can remember. I mean, we were poor back then. My daughter was a ghost golfer, and my son was a zombie, and I had, I was just dead, and I had a piece of rope around my neck, and I go, yeah, I'm just hanging around, or my kids drove me to it.
Uh-huh. And did your kids ever go like, oh my God, Mom, why are you going dressed like that?
No, they actually see it.
Well, actually, my daughter, not that long ago, she goes, Mom, you were never this cool before. What happened? How did you change? I go, I've always been cool. It's just that I couldn't afford it back then. You kept me broke,
That's
you know?
cool. Yeah. Yeah.
But,
that's definitely Argo. How about you? Like, were you nervous the first time that you got dressed and went to your first cosplay?
No, actually, I was really looking forward to it. I was always the guy who built the stuff for other people to go. For most of my life, I was very overweight. I'm talking almost 600 pounds. And so I couldn't feel comfortable going any place. If I went any place, it was to the Ren Fest, and it was mostly going as like one of the big fat friar monks kind of things. And I'd never felt comfortable going and doing cosplay until I lost a lot of weight and got down to where I am now. And I just, like I said, I was married Lynn, and it was one of our summers that it was Comic-Con was coming up, and I was, hey, do you want to dress up? And we just put together something in a matter of 3-4 days. And it was all just stuff that we had to go out and find real quick. And it was going to hardware stores and going to Harbor Freight and going to places like that. And it was really fun because we put this together so quick. And then we showed up at the Comic-Con, and the first day, she actually got a little addicted to going to Comic-Cons because there were so many people that wanted to stop and take our picture and that kind of stuff and just talk with us about our stuff. And it was really nice that, you know, there were so many people out there. Now, like some of the other people have mentioned, we've seen the seedier underside, kind of the dark side to cosplay. And that always makes me a little bit nervous, but we know who those people are. And we share those names real quick with each other about, hey, just avoid this person. They're just drama. But for the most part, like throughout the central Florida, I call it the I-4 corridor, there are 3 different steampunk groups that we all just love each other. We're all family. And if there's somebody that, definitely Janet, and if there's somebody who comes into the group that tries to cause any problems and that kind of stuff, we just kind of usher them right out. And we just, you know, we either ask them to change their attitude or please leave. And so it's
well, yep.
Yeah,
I just wanted to interrupt. I'm sorry. We've actually got a few more cosplayers in here, and we're going to kind of start rotating you out. But before we do, please let us know where we can follow you. Make sure that you know, wherever we're posted, whether it's on Con, Florida Con Gurus, make sure that you put in your social media links so that we can follow you. And I will follow up with you if I don't already have a profile page for you on Geek Insider, so that you know, we can all network together. And you know, when the world opens up again, that way we can all meet up and, you know, just have a really good time. So please make sure that you share your links. But in the meantime, get on the camera. Argo, you're not muted. Let us know where we can follow you.
You can contact both myself and Lynn either through Full Steam Ahead Cosplay and Production on Facebook. That's our professional group. And if you want to learn more about just steampunk in general, we have the Heartland Steampunk Association. And that's also on our Facebook page.
Yeah, please do share that with us. And I'm gonna boot you out. I don't mean to be rude or anything, but we're gonna get a few more people in here.
Bye, guys.
If I can see.
Bye.
By the way, thank you, Meredith.
Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate you guys taking the time to get dressed and sharing that with us. We really wanted to give you guys an excuse to do that. All right, I'm gonna boot you. And let's see. Hold on a second. Trying to coordinate here. C&J, you go ahead.
So we have a Facebook page, which is exactly the name that you're seeing on there, C&J Cosplay.
Spelled that way.
Correct. And then on Instagram, it's all one word. So you would put C and then spell out and A-N-D, J Cosplay, all lowercase.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And again, you know, when you can, put your links into our social media.
Oh God!
And we're kicking people out so you guys can have the camera.
But we
yes,
love them.
please do put your social media in the links. And you know, if we have room in the studio, I won't kick you. Promise.
Okay.
Let's
Hi,
see
Patty.
here.
Hi,
Deadpool,
Heidi.
how about you?
Well, everybody's gone. Me at Deadpool Cosplay 19. That's it.
Deadpool Cosplay 19, where?
On Instagram. Yes.
That's it? You're on Facebook
That's
too,
it.
right?
Just follow me and I'll follow you back.
Cool.
Dude. All righty. And we've got, I'm going to mute you for a second, and then we're going to get Arachnoid 3 in here. And I wanted to thank you for your service. And I also want to thank you for sharing your time and your story here. So where can we follow you?
On Facebook, Arachnoid3. Yeah, I mean, just Arachnoid3 Cosplay. I'm sorry. On Instagram, HobinCon1, or you could just put Arachnoid3. Or I find stuff all the time just by putting in I am Merman. And then that will lead you to me.
Oh God, it's
All right, just make sure that you type that into our social media. People can follow you, and I will be in touch with you. So, because I definitely want to tag a profile page for a Geek Insider, so that we have a landing spot for you for people to follow. And we're actually looking toward expanding our cosplay corner. So, if you can send me some headshots or some, poses, some of your best costumes and things like that, and your social media, and we're going to get those posted because we want to promote you guys as much as possible. That's it's something that we love to do. We just love the creators, we love the indies, and we're missing the cons as much as everybody else. So we really appreciate you guys taking the time.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Meredith.
Deadpool, I'm putting you in the queue. Let's see if we have room for more people to get on screen here.
All right.
You there. Thank you guys, everybody. We appreciate you so much. Who else do we have in here? I've got Twisted Pool. We've got Joker Cosplay. Who else is in the queue? Who wants to be back on camera here? We're going to put CJ back in here.
Oh, hi.
Okay, so we have basically all day long. So if we could, we're probably in the background going to be muting you so you can talk one at a time, or like if you have to, if you're kind of doing a skit, raise your hand so we know who's next.
I know Heidi and Joseph are doing a skit.
Wait a minute, you're still on mute.
Okay. We're going to be doing a campaign. We're doing it at Deadpool versus Penguin for President 2020.
Oh, nice. Penguin's
All right, well, you know what? Let me get out. Let me get off the screen here, and I'll let you guys go and do what you.
May I introduce currently, but soon to be president of 2020, Oswald Cobblepot. Take it away, Bob.
Thank you. First of all, I'd like to tell you why you should vote for me in 2020. Quite simply, I used to be a crook, but I've turned over a new leaf. I figure I could solve the global warming problem because, hey, who knows about cool? Penguins, right? Penguins are good. That's our new national bird, the penguin. Second of all, why would you want that little red-headed freak down there to be president? All he does, his catchphrase is bang, 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 bang. All he wants to do is destroy, kill. He's killed more people than Joker has in my city. And then the stooge above him, another Red Hood. He comes, he threatens me. I'm a businessman. That's all I am, business. I've brought money to Gotham. I've brought businesses back. And now I want to do it for America. Real simple. This Corvid thing was started by a bat. Just goes to say, my idea, ban all bats. They're dangerous. Yeah, they're survivors. Yeah, they're survivors for one reason. They kill all of us and they're left. Just like his little stooge. I know what's right. Vote Cobblepot and give the world the bird it deserves.
What would you say to people who say that you're in a dirty politics?
Who in politics isn't dirty? All politicians are crooked. I admit it. They hide it. That's how you know I'm for real. I don't lie, even when I tell the truth.
Your
done?
Go ahead.
Are you done, Big Mouth?
Whatever,
Okay.
Spider-Man.
Oh, okay. Let's throw a fake name. Sure. Okay. So I actually have a campaign going on here to make America better because it kind of sucks right now. I'll be honest with you. Now, a minute. I'm not a businessman. I don't have a clue what I'm doing. But we're going to have some fun. I'm going to listen to you guys, and I'm going to get it done. And yeah, there might be some pew, 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 and taking some people out. But you got to do that now and then. And plus, I'm better looking.
Under a mask.
Under a mask, over the mask, and over your mom. Yeah, I'll go there.
You leave my mother out of this.
Oh, sorry. Mrs. Copperpot, you gotta go.
I can't. How do? You're gonna vote for that? He's doing mom jokes. This is all serious.
Yes, they are. Look at these guys. They're enjoying the hell out of it. Wouldn't you like every day to be like this in your life? Pay raises for everybody that wears green.
They're my constituents. Don't you ever talk to them again.
Can you spell that?
Can you pronounce it?
No, but I'll admit it.
With pleasure.
Oh, no.
Oh no.
What do you want?
A new bike helmet.
Oh, that's an issue.
Why are you offering to
Looks to me, points in my favor. See you soon.
Ah!
At least we didn't have to put up with it as long as we did Penguin.
This is my proof. Redhead. Look at this.
Redhead.
He wrote
He is
it.
a redhead.
He heard a good doctor. He's trying to solve the virus and manhandled the poor man.
I'll take care of it.
I can't deal with this anymore. But I'll tell you one thing. I've got a lot of companies behind me. One of them, Dawn dishwashing soap. It keeps grease out of your way. Remember that.
Dirty, hit it with a good Dawn dish soap. Especially that red hood fellow.
And the other redhead wearing fellow.
Redhead
You turn Godpool.
Yes. Are you done talking again? See, plus this is my own personal house. And look, see, we get the American flag. I'm all about you guys. That's all I gotta say. This is gonna be an easy cakewalk. We can sit there and debate and fight and do all their stuff, but really when it all comes down to it, you're a penguin. Really? Of all the, you got eagles, phoenixes, hawks, pigeons are even better than penguins. Of all the birds to choose, really?
I just got one thing to say about Deadpool. Aren't you Canadian?
Oh!
Yeah. I was Canadian. I was also Marvel, and now I'm Disney, and now I'm trumped all the way over into DC land, and I'm a Gotham resident. Okay? I've been places. I know things. Oh, God, here comes the biker boy.
And you thought I was Bad Hood? Look at what you brought to the city.
I didn't bring that to this. I don't even know who that is.
Well, he seems just like you.
Seems to have your color.
Spider-Man or whatever his name is, well, who cares?
He doesn't want peace. That's the problem. He wants to be able to push the button.
Is it shiny?
See?
We're beautiful on their end.
Janet, you know me.
Yes.
I'm a decent bird.
Yes.
See? She works for Disney. She knows me.
I mean, voting is tough for us, but you got my vote, Oswald. Just saying. Get that ballot. Give me a ballot.
Hey,
6 feet away.
6 feet away.
We all want to stay 6 feet away from him.
Aww.
And here's our new street bird.
There's the state bird. Happy Easter.
Oh, okay, I'll give you that. That's cute.
That's
See?
adorable.
Maurice decided he wanted to dress for the holidays.
Aww.
A penguin and cosplays.
Yes.
Everybody can cosplay, even if you're a bird.
Absolutely. You got that.
Oh, nice.
Very nice, Deadpool.
I can be creative too.
Did you color that? You should do some time.
We should put these on when we're up here. Although I can't with my what am I going to do?
You don't have a question I can't answer, Penguin.
Yeah, wait.
We'll be taking care of you, Red Hood. Right
I don't know what to do with these guys.
I'll make you a deal.
Everybody
Help
in
me get rid of the
Gotham,
biggest problem in Gotham.
that's all I'm a constituent. All I know is the Penguins are there.
Compared to Deadpool,
So are you Democrat or Republican or what?
I'm on the rogue ballot.
The rogue ballot?
Rogue ballot.
Basically, I'm either Republican or Democrat. I do it right.
Quiet, Bird Brain. What's going on over here?
The plague! The plague!
The plague.
There they are.
Looks like since someone had to, ruin or destroy Scarecrow, looks like we'll have to find a new one.
Now those are some classy people.
Those are some classy.
Those are some big peckers.
Compared to the one wearing the red hood. Not just God.
Christian's like, what the heck are we watching?
What are we watching?
Christian, we're watching your mom.
We're watching a campaign.
You know what you got yourself into the second you hop on.
And I know the question's going to be, am I always this way?
Yes.
Yes. They know I'm this way no matter what.
That's the end of our campaign. Feel free to.
Just remember, vote, travel, talk.
Put your votes in the comments.
Yep, put your votes in the comments.
Type it in. Yeah.
That was great, guys. Now you're part of a greater group in Florida. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
I'll leave that to my little clerk.
We have a group, the Gotham Underground. We started 4 years ago with just 4 people. It was an idea kind of sparked from a free comic book day, just being like, wouldn't it be cool if we had a group of people that we love to go to conventions with and that we could help the community and maybe do, cons and, things for businesses and skits and stuff. And we're like, heck yeah. So we
visit hospitals too.
Yeah, visit hospitals. Whatever we can do to help out.
Or do little birthday messages to kids that can't have a birthday.
So our first year was a lot about that. It was pretty much our first ever kind of gig as a family, I guess, was for Rodizio Grill for a kind of a comic hero villain day. And it was so much fun. And they had a bunch of birthday parties going, and we just went around to different tables. We brought goodies to hand out, and that just kind of really made us feel good. People wanted pictures with us. We made all the wait staff and everyone happy. So to this day, every time we go to eat there, they're like, "Oh man, you're not in cosplay! Like, come on!" Like, we're like, guys, like. But so we definitely try to go there and cosplay. But we do things with the Bradenton Marauders every year for their geek night. We'll see about this year. I think it's supposed to be in June. And then
we've done Hero Hype every year.
So thank you to them. Central Florida Comic Con. It's been a blast. We have so many things to be thankful for. And, we do things with customers with a cause. And we just love our big cosplay family. And C&J and Full Steam Ahead. And we've made so many great relationships. And going on 4 years, and our personal family growing, and it's getting kind of overwhelming and a lot of people to kind of keep track of, but not everybody always has to be in the group, of course, to be part of our family, but the people we do have, they work so hard, and they always are here when we call of them, and they do it with 110%. Like, we love it.
Especially my other brother up in the corner, the Red Hood.
And Ray, he just got invited in, and he's already like, "What? You want me to do this? Yes, I'm there." Like, what? You need me here? Tell me what time.
Yeah. We do things at the drop of a hat if we're needed. we try to do our best with whoever we can get, even if it's just me or just Mark or both of us, whoever. We try to do our best. I mean, when we did Rodizio, we had somebody come as far as what was it, Tampa. It was a little kid. He was a leukemia patient, and I gave him a rubber duck. And that night, I saw the news, and he was going for treatments. I guess he was on camera, and he had my duck in his hand. So ever since then, I swore to keep doing this. So that's all I want to do. I try to make everybody smile, laugh, whatever. Life's too short to be serious.
The Gotham Underground, you know, what was the process behind that? I mean, I guess it started with one or two of you, and then you began to, we've got a regular person in here. What the hell happened?
He's not regular. He's part of the family.
I'm not the regular person here.
A normal person. We got a normal person in the group.
Leo is very much part of this.
No, we can't have that.
Definitely one of the first people that ever stopped to probably take our picture at a convention, and ever since it's been.
You said every single one, man. We love you.
And Deadpool here, Ray, you know, he's also got a Deadpool car, and like I think we originally met him through Anime Cars of the World.
Who we partner with from time to time.
We also partner with them, but also we saw him at a lot of conventions as well. So we're really just a group that keeps getting bigger because we are literally friends that go to conventions and hang out together. And they're, you know, everybody's just on board of let's do this not for so much money, but let's do it because it's fun and we like it and we want to help each other and we want to, you know, be there for each other. And if we're bored, like let's do some skits or let's do some TikToks, or you know, we've been talking about a YouTube. We're making an actual like con experience, kind of like CFX creations, like, you know, having an actually like interactive
cause effects.
Yeah, cause effects. I knew I was gonna cause effects, you know, like they've been very inspiring as well. It's like, oh, that would be so much fun to do.
Robin and Kyla.
Yeah. So yeah. This is definitely not just us, but you know, it definitely grew because of the community.
Yeah.
So thank you.
We basically started with 4 people. It was me and Heidi were the founders, and because of Leo there, I mean, he's a big reason that we got so big. Just spreading our photos around and people just going, "Hey, you guys are great," and wanting to join us. And I mean, then it was Brian Harris. And he's my blood.
Mark Knight Rises.
Mark Knight Rises. I mean, we've met a lot of people, and we basically want to tell stories to people. You know, we don't want money. If we do appearances, I don't want money. Give me a sandwich and a drink.
You can
I'm
give
happy.
us tips. It's not that we don't want money. We appreciate it, but we don't. You know, we don't do it because
it's not what I'm doing it about. Basically.
Yeah.
I've always loved your group because it's always been a lot of Marvel stuff here and there, and you're about the only group that does DC, a lot of DC. That's what I love. You know, it's always something different other than the flood of Marvel that we've been seeing in conventions. You folks have been able to put all the DC characters together and put them in a grouping, makes things a lot easier for me for when I do a group shot and I tell them Gotham Underground's going to be there, and they know it's all DC, and that they all get together. You guys are great.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now we got the Gotham Underground Marvel edition with Captain America and Deadpool and Disney princesses as well.
And TV. Oh yeah, we've expanded, but yeah, I'm always going to be DC for the simple reason is everybody loves seeing Penguin going around causing mischief at the con. So
yeah, if it's a 4-day con, you can guarantee Penguin and me are definitely like DC at least 2 of those days for sure.
And then of course,
and how about Joker though?
Well, we have Joker. Right now he's spending time with his family. So,
or he's under the red.
Or we have the other Joker.
This Joker. Yep, this Joker here.
Yeah, I was Scarecrow yesterday, Red Hood today. I do Joker, but I kind of took a break on him. I've been working on my other cosplays, so yeah.
Well, how many cosplays do you have?
3 so far. Working on a Star Wars one.
Nice. Very nice. And how did you fall into this group here?
I've known Ozzy for a long time, and then we ran into each other. I ran into them at a con at Tampa Bay Comic Con, and just kind of talked from there, and eventually got into the group.
Wow, cool. Hey, show us some of your tats here. I'm going to put you on big screen here because you're like pretty tatted up.
Superman. I got all the Lantern Corps. Spawn, Flash, and Batman on the back, and then the other side kind of just a sporadic of different stuff. Voodoo dolls, and then wait, hold on, camera's backwards. Thor, Hellboy is right there, and yeah, Punisher and Daredevil's right here, smaller. Work in progress.
Wow, that's a lot of work.
Yeah.
Are they designs that you do yourself, or do you have a friend that's an artist and
No, I do
design?
I do that on myself.
Wow, very cool. I know that Matthew's got some ink on his arm here that his wife designed, and I'm actually going to pop off and let him ask a couple of questions for you guys. Matt, you want to boot me and pop in the seat?
Bye.
Hey guys.
Hey.
Hey, I've been watching in the background. I love the politics thing that you had going on, and sorry, Poole and Mr. Cobblepot. I had to give it to my man Todd over there, Jason Todd, of course, just because I am a Gotham man, and I'm one of the ones that had a cry when they killed off Jason way back when, and so it was cool to see Jason rise from the grave and not be a brain-eating zombie. One question that I had, and I really wanted to ask the gentleman, I forget his name, that was here before. He was having the audio issues, but he's in a wheelchair. And that's how I have to attend a con. I can walk around the house, usually assisted with a cane, but going to the cons, I have to use a wheelchair, and I usually have a buddy with me that pushes me around. And of course, I get press passes, and so I'm able to go around. But we talked about, my buddy's a lot younger than me, and we talked about going like as old, or McAvoy and Stewart, two different versions of Professor X, him walking and me in the chair. And I'm like, hey, I'll shave the head, no problem. And he's like, I don't know about all that, but I really want to do something to incorporate the chair itself. What kind of, and I don't want to siphon off anybody's ideas, but I know with you guys going to a lot of cons, y'all had to have seen some pretty cool incorporations of wheelchairs. Let's just kind of do a little round robin. What's some of the coolest ones that y'all seen? And if you can't think of one off the top of your head besides your own, what's one of the coolest cosplays that you've ever seen?
Well, one we're planning on doing for Penguin, because he has a hard time walking around cons as well. So it's lucky when we're actually asked to guest and we get the booth and whatnot. And there's plenty of seating around conventions too. But we're thinking of getting him a scooter, and we want to, like in the duck that was in one of the Batman movies. So we've been really wanting to build that and get some people together, and when we get the scooter, we'll definitely get that made. But that's definitely an idea. Definitely Professor X is a great one. We've seen a bunch of cool steampunk designs with
Scott Whipple from CWC did Mojo from Marvel, from Mojo World, and it looked like a wheelchair. It was real nice. I've seen MODOK. I've seen the levitating chair from Professor X. They just made it on the wheelchair, made the smoke go along the bottom so it looked like it was hovering. There's a lot of really good cosplays.
Some people have done Little Mermaid, where they make the bottom kind of the rock and everything, and then she's like the mermaid on top of it. So you're like, there's no endless thing you can do. Like just, it's actually, it adds to your cosplay, if anything, because you have additional like prop space that you can do whatever you want. You can add lights to it. You can,
Heck, like our Oracle, she keeps it simple.
Yeah, Oracle, she does the Oracle cosplay, so that's been
the one thing I was kind of worried about as far as doing anything too far in front or too far in back is that I do make my way around the entire con, And some of these can be in several buildings. And then, of course, back then they were, shoulder to shoulder and butt to butt. And so you're trying to weave up and down these narrow aisles. Do you guys, well, let's finish the question first before I move on to the next one. Jason, have you seen anything that just really stood out to you at any of the cons?
Yeah, there's a guy. He comes every year. I see him at Tampa Bay Comic Con. He's disabled. He's in a wheelchair, but he does an awesome. The first time I saw him, it was awesome. It was a Neptune like Iron Man mix, and he was in the chair, so the chair would stand up, and he had the fin on and the Iron Man armor.
That was Ronald. That's Ronald. He was
That's
just
Iron
here.
Man.
That's Ronald, Arachnoid cosplay.
Yeah.
That's him.
He does an amazing job. And then there's also a charity. I follow them on Instagram. They're called it's like Wheeling and Rolling Costumes and Designs, where they specifically design and cosplays for wheelchairs themselves, which is pretty cool. I just can't remember the full Instagram name right off the top of my head.
I think you're probably talking about Nathan Wilson. He likes to make cosplays in wheelchairs. He does excellent wheelchair cosplays.
Yeah, his first one, he was Ant-Man, I think.
Yeah. No, that wasn't Nathan. Nathan does kind of like a steampunk, and then he likes to do Skeletor and other characters like that. But I don't remember him ever doing an Ant-Man. Maybe he's done a lot of cosplays. But yeah, I know who you're talking about. It's like I always pay attention to all the cosplayers in wheelchairs and mobility devices because just like me, it's like getting out there any which way we can.
Yep. Yeah. And Roger, I liked that idea actually of Thanos in his throne for the cosplay because with Professor X ain't had one of these, and this ain't going, and especially this. The beard goes once in a while, but the mustache ain't going. And so, but with Thanos, I could cover that and a prosthesis or a prosthetic. I mean, and so I like that idea a lot. I might have to steal that from you, Roger. Twisted Pool. Any cool cosplays that you've seen around that?
Yeah, I forget the guy's name, and maybe Leo will remember. He does a Deadpool. He's got the little talking dog pool on his arm prosthetic.
Oh yeah, that's Kurt Van Gooseman.
Yeah, it's like KBG cosplay or something like that.
Yeah, Kurt. Yeah, I know him real good. He's got the easy button in the middle of his chest.
Yep, that's him.
Yes.
Well, he made for a child with a disability that really liked Spider-Man. Made the Iron Spider-Man with extra arms coming off the wheelchair and whatnot.
Oh, cool.
He fabricated that, I believe, out of mostly PVC and whatnot. But it was awesome, and it made that kid's. I guarantee it made his whole year, probably his life.
Right.
He always felt out of place at cons and whatnot. So now his wheelchair became a part of that.
Right. That's
so you can even add stuff onto your thing. And I think I was going to touch base on your next question as far as how big it is, type deal.
Yeah,
you were concerned about that. I've gone to cons in a 3 foot by 2 foot bathtub. So 3 feet in front of me, there was nobody getting in the way and whatnot. And you'd be surprised. I mean, the community is just that nice, not just the cosplay community, but even the shoppers and just your everyday Joes and so forth. They will gladly move out of your way for dogs, wheelchairs, idiots like myself. It doesn't really matter. Now, you might bump into something a little bit by accident. You may, if you got those big arms off a chair or something like that, knock somebody's stand off, a little bit. But everybody's understanding of it. Everybody's there to have a good time. So, as long as you didn't do too ridiculous, you shouldn't have an issue.
That's cool. That's really cool. One thing that I was going to say and I do this every time. I had a thought that I was going to say, and then I forget it. And then this is where Meredith always laughs, and because she has to go and edit it's not a live show. But one of the big things that I enjoy at the conventions, of course, is the cosplay. And I went to here in Texas. It's called Bell County Expo, or Bell County Comic Con, and I was expecting it to be small because it's a smaller town. And that one was actually pretty darn huge. And there was a Deadpool there that came in with a couch, man, and it's just a love seat. But he had his legs through it somehow. And anyway, it was baby pool. He would sit down and the couch would be on the ground. He had the baby legs, and then you could sit on the couch beside him. And so I have a picture of me holding the baby pool's leg, or my hand on the leg like I'm some kind of pervert. But it was really great. And I don't know how he did it because the couch, you could sit back on it. It wasn't like you felt like a cardboard or foam that you were going to fall through. But you're right. I didn't even think about him earlier. He's walking around with a love seat, basically trying to get through this con that I fully expected it to be slow. And then a few months later, I go to Wizard World Austin, and I'm expecting that one to be huge because it's in downtown Austin, and it was a flop. There just wasn't that many people there.
Wizard World, too.
Yeah, but the one thing I learned about there, I loved them. I loved going to the con. I used to go back in the 90s, and it's a completely different beast now than what the cons were back then. And it's a lot more, I don't know, it's not so much just, boobs every corner you go around with the models. And I guess in Florida, I know, of course, y'all got MegaCon, you got Tampa, you got all of those. Have you all found that some of the smaller cons have the biggest gatherings, so to speak, or is it? Not compared to MegaCon, of course, but
Janet and Jay will attest to it.
Sci-Fi Barto.
Sci-Fi Barto. That is a really it's a con down Main Street, and it gets bigger and bigger every year.
I think they're up to 6 blocks or 7 blocks this year, but all the businesses take part. The whole city really takes part, and it's really cool.
It's one of my favorite cons to go to because it's all outside. Everybody is like family there.
That's really cool.
Those are the bigger cons. Before, like, they've got some new owners. They're how can I put this? There's nothing wrong with. They're money driven. They're not for the community.
Right.
Plus, people say, like, you can literally go in intent to meet your friends, and you might only see them once through the 4-day weekend because there's so many people, or you might not even see them at all. And then most of the time, it's just so many people, you get socially exhausted. So you end up taking, luckily, most people stay on the property. So you might only spend 2 or 3 hours at the actual con before you're like, you know what, I'm going to have a hotel day. This is overwhelming.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
we've done that a couple times where we were like, you know what, we were there till Sunday and we're like, we miss our cats. We're going home Sunday. And then I think a Friday, we're like, we're so exhausted. We're just going to have a hotel day and go back Saturday.
Right.
But
right.
it's still definitely like an experience to go to for sure.
Yeah, the smaller con, I was, we went all 3 days, and I definitely am expecting, because I live a little further away this time, that I will get a hotel room when it comes back, if, assuming we're back sometime soon. The bigger ones like that, I don't know that I'll make the trip anymore. I'm hoping that, I have someone, me having that managing editor title, I can send somebody else. I like the smaller venues, but the better crowds, I would want to say. That was what surprised me as well. There was more cosplay at the Bell County, and at Wizard World, I was expecting to be just tons and tons of cosplay, and there was a little, but the Bell County one just had the higher quality, I guess I would say. And Jason, I was wondering, and I just stepped off. She told you about my tattoo. There's the Joker that my wife had drawn, and then I had it inked up. If I can turn it the right way there.
That's awesome.
Cameras. And then I'm the same way. I've got Nightwing and Robin scratched through. I got this on Batman versus Superman. I got Spider-Man over here. But my brother and I got kind of toasted one night, and we went and got Hulk shooting the middle finger. It was supposed to be kind of small, and it ended up that big. Yeah, we were toasted, and we'd always wanted to get matching tattoos. And I said, I know, let's just get the Hulk fist. And he goes, nah, Hulk shooting the middle finger, because every picture of us, we're shooting the finger. Every picture, since we were kids. And so, and our mom used to get so pissed off. Damn it, let me take a picture of you boys without you shooting the finger. And so it's just always been our thing. So we had to get. But I kind of wanted to do the same thing you did. I've got over 20 tattoos, 25 tattoos. I got some Star Wars stuff on my chest, but it was a hodgepodge. I was, back in my 20s, I was very patriotic. So I got a lot of eagles, and not just one here, one there. I got the Boondock Saint cross on my back, a long time ago. And so I have this hodgepodge, and I really wanted to work on the sleeve, but I don't know. We'll see how things go. I've got the crow over here on the inside of my forearm. Real love is forever.
That's
awesome. But
he's guilty of a lot of tattoos too. He can't see him with his penguin, but he when we got married in 2010, we got married as Joker and Harley at a comic book store here in Sarasota. And it's still talked about to this day, which is hilarious. People come up to us and like, "Oh my God, you're Harley and Joker!" Like he's got the Joker card. He's got Invader Zim and the Piggy. He's got Joker and Harley. He's got this really cool comedy tragedy with Batman and Joker.
I've got the Killing
Joke.
No, the Smiling Fish.
Laughing
Laughing
right?
Fish.
Yeah.
I got one Joker tattoo that I do not like it. It was a new style at the time called Trash Polka. And I was like, yeah, I want to try that. And then I got the tattoo, and it's on my leg. And she did capture Heath Ledger's face as Joker, but then the rest of it just falls apart. And I'm glad it's on my leg and not, I don't hardly wear, short shorts around anywhere. So, I'm past my Daisy Duke stage. So. But guys, we're getting time towards that wrap up time. I want to give everybody a chance to sound off on where everyone can find you. I know we're all on a holding pattern for the next con when they do start kicking back in. I'm kind of like you guys, even if a con was announced for the 1st of June, I don't know that I would be going at this point. That's just too big of a crowd, too big of a chance. But if there's anything that you want to push, now's the time. I'll kind of just pull you on the camera one at a time, and then you guys can head out of here. And Meredith and I are going to wrap up this fantastic yet long weekend. I want to thank you all first for being here and being in costume.
Thank you. Thank you, Leo, for inviting me.
And we are going to be, this is just the first. We are going to be planning, even once the world opens back up, this kind of thing is that we're still going to be doing. We love the cosplay. We love the independent filmmakers and the writers and the comic book makers and all of those that really have given us the joy and entertainment that they have over the years. And, this was the perfect time to do it because, we didn't, as you all know, we didn't charge anybody to be here. Nobody had to donate anything. And next time around, we might try to do something for a charity, but this time around, we just wanted to give everybody something to do. So I will start with Miss Riddlebox and Ozzy. Oh, I got to put y'all up first.
Big screen.
All right. Well, again, I'm Miss Riddlebox Cosplay. You can find me on Instagram and Facebook and everywhere. This is Ozzy J Cosplay. You can find our entire group on the Gotham Underground, the Facebook, the Instagram, and we have a GoDaddy website as well. And you can find us under our cosplay names under TikTok if you want some fun entertainment. We do have merchandise. We have shirts, like I have Vote for Cobblepot for president. And it's got our logo on the back. So check out our website and get yourself some cool merchandise.
Every member of our family has a personalized shirt, so if you want to sponsor one of them.
And if they don't yet, I'm working on it.
Very
Cheers.
cool. Oh, what did I do? There we go.
Hey guys, Joker Cosplay, Joker_Cosplay, just like it's put. You can find me on Instagram for all things funny, cosplay, games, it don't matter. But yeah, come check me out. The other out from underground. So I'll get you next time.
Where we can have a contest.
Thanks so much. Oh, just 1 second. There we go.
Hey everybody, as you see from the little tag right down, wait, cameras are funky. Twisted Pool 19 over there on Twitter, Instagram, everywhere. And my whole thing is, hey, Deadpools, we all look the same. We all kind of act the same. There's not too much variation. I am not your average Deadpool. I do countless Deadpools. Sometimes I'm not even wearing pants.
Sometimes?
Sometimes. So see me at a con someplace, have fun, and I guess I went small again. Oh no, personal problems.
There you are. You had some Viagra. Thanks so much. All right, and let me get C&J up here.
Hi, friends. Sorry, I'm still laughing at Deadpool. You can find us on Facebook at C&J Cosplay. Read the tag. Also on Instagram, all one word, all lowercase, C&J Cosplay. Thank you so much for having us. We appreciate it. We've had fun. Thanks, guys.
And we miss you all. Totally miss you
Can't
all.
wait to see everyone in person again.
Fantastic. And Mr. Leo.
Yes, how we doing?
We'll let you wrap it up.
All right. You can find my photos in Nocedo Photo, and I contribute my photos to Florida Geek Scene, and on Instagram, I'm at Nocedo Photo on Instagram. And then after every convention weekends, I put out on Florida Geek Scene what is called Cosplay Monday, as a result of all the cosplayers that I take photograph all through the weekend on the Florida Geek Scene. And also, if you're wondering what could be your next convention, I post up a current schedule on the Florida Geek Scene convention scheduling. When you go into the website, just go into the conventions and events section, and you can find the calendar right in there.
Fantastic.
All right.
Thanks so much, Leo.
And I'd like to say, everybody, all the cosplayers, thank you. I love you.
Love
Thank you for
you.
having us.
Yeah. Thank y'all so very much, and I hope we can plan on y'all attending the next one. And we're gonna have Meredith probably contact you Monday. No, I'm just kidding. We're gonna let her rest.
We're gonna sleep for the next couple of days.
Yeah,
sleep.
We're gonna sleep for the next couple of days.
Yeah, I think if I gave Meredith any kind of work to do tomorrow, I think she'd do just that. Probably.
You're gonna get the finger gun.
I got work tomorrow.
I told her Friday. I told her Friday. I said, all right,
PG, come on, keep it PG now.
I said, go get some sleep and kiss Pat goodbye. Tell him you'll see him Monday. And she's like, I know. But again, thanks so much, everyone. Y'all have a great rest of your rest of your Easter.
It's just
And, everybody stay safe and healthy out there.
Bye.
Bye.
We appreciate you so much. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. I love the way that we've wrapped it up with the cosplayers, because that's what the cons are all about. That's that full immersion experience that we have with everybody. And it's wonderful that we were able to do that. And Christian, why don't you get on camera? There you are. There you are. The only one we're missing is Rob, and I think he's probably home having dinner with Jax and trying to relax, because we have all been working our tails off since COVID. So I don't know if you guys want to have any final thoughts. Maybe we'll go around the round table here. And just the experience maybe that we had, what we can work on for the next one, and what we're looking forward to next week. We want to promote those guys too, because they're going to be, I know how tiring it was with this one, try to get this together as fast as we did, and with all of the guests, and it's just a testament to them willing to give their time as well.
Very much.
Yes, very much so.
Yeah. So who wants to go first here?
Well, I'm kind of glad to see things like this happen, as much as I go to conventions and meet with so many people and so many cosplayers. And, it's like, I miss my cosplay family, and I haven't seen them in such a long time. So, it was kind of great to see some of my cosplayer friends meet together just like this.
Very much. You know, we were hoping that a good amount of folks would be enticed to get into costume and to make it. And I'm really, really glad that they did, because cosplay is such a huge part of the con. And, you know, how in the world can you have a virtual con without some cosplayers? And so, Leo, we definitely, man, sincerely appreciate your help in wrangling these guys up. That I didn't get to listen to much of the Gotham Underground yesterday's show. I had the feedback, and then I had something else happen here at the house right then, and so I didn't get to listen. And now I'm totally regretting I'm going to have to go back and watch it, because what they did today was funny. That Cobblepot, man, he's pretty spot on. And when he said, "Give America the bird that it deserves," I about spit my damn Dr. Pepper all over the screen. That was just classic.
Well, you know, I love being around cosplayers because they are dynamic folks that get into the characters and, you know, stay into the characters all the way through, from the beginning of the day all the way to the end, till when they get back to their car and go home. You know, and not even then. They'll get in their car still in cosplay and go through drive-throughs, and people just like, wow, what's going on here? Yeah, but I love my friends who cosplay. You know, and it's always a joy to get them together and take pictures of them. You know, and then share the pictures with them. Yeah, and it's a great creative group of people.
They are, and you know, and me, you know, having my wife on here earlier today, you know, she's an artist, and then we had Emma from the your Christian Traveling TARDIS show. Isn't that her name?
What's that?
Melanie.
Melanie. You know, those kind of people always amaze me, because I can't draw stick figures, man. I mean, I can pump out a story, you know, off the top of my head. My mom always said that, you know, I lied so good I should be a politician or a lawyer. And I think that's part of a storyteller, is that we can, you know, think on the quick. But the whole venue of bringing everybody together, all of the artists, the writers, the cosplayers, the show creators, the podcasters, and then all of these folks like yourself, Leo, you know, you were immediately trying to bring in people to help them promote themselves and help them, you know, have a little fun this weekend. Christian, you are a saint. You know, you gave up your entire weekend here to help us virgin live streamers out, or not live streamers, but the whole show. You know, trying to put this whole thing together for hours on end. I can tell you, without you guys helping back us up, where we could go and break away from camera for a little bit, it just wouldn't have been the same show. We would have been here, but it just wouldn't have been the same experience at all. One thing I did want to say, and then Meredith, I'll let you say some stuff, is that, folks, if you attended the virtual con, you didn't win a prize, guess what? We're not done. Meredith is going to be going back through the comments, folks that were here and were participating, and we're going to go back through. And so watch your Facebook, watch your YouTube account in case you get a DM there, or wherever you were participating at, because it may not happen tonight. I'm sure it won't. If it does, I'm probably going to lock Meredith out of her computer if I see her trying to work. But it will. Some of you are going to be getting messages over the next few days as we, you know, disseminate some of these prizes, because we do have some great sponsors as well. And as you can see, one of the lessons that we learned, Meredith, I'll jump in here. One, we need to have longer segments for the guests.
Yes.
15 minutes isn't enough.
No.
Two, we got to have somebody that's in charge of prizes, because there wasn't enough time in the day to
There's
stop.
so much going on.
Right. And then we need to have somebody that is basically does the job that the girl was, you know, she's holding up the cards to tell us commercial, because we didn't run a single ad that we had planned. And luckily, you know, there was nothing, you know, that was, you know, you have to run this during the con. It was all, you know, stuff that we could run or that we wanted to run. But we do want to thank, you know, Bluman, BLUMAAN. That's going to be a prize pack that goes out. You can check them out at bluman.com. They got a lot of hair products and styling gels.
I've actually got an overlay. There you go.
Nice.
and that somebody's going to be getting that right there with that little travel case. And we also have, of course, Q or Jason Quinn. There we go. Just go in order here. Jason Quinn. Somebody's going to be winning that autographed Beatles All Our Yesterdays. I personally can't wait to get my copy. This is a big one. You know, Christian, I'd love to give it to you, man, but I don't think the boss would be, too happy that it
You can
didn't
give
go.
it to me. I have no problem with this endeavor. In fact, do you have a spare?
The autographed Doctor Who photograph will be going to a lucky winner. The Q, we're done with the Q giveaways, guys, but we did give away, if you missed it, we gave away 4 different codes that were worth a lot of worth some in-game gems. I gave away personally, I awarded 4 of the best the fusion cards to a novice player earlier today. But Q, the Cards, the Universe, and Everything, it's a really fun game. If you haven't checked it out, download it in your app store or visit cardstheuniverseandeverything.com. Especially if you're an educator or you are if you're an educator, they got a special deal going on for you and your students. Mobile Edge, guys, we've got a really good, we gave away several items from them throughout the show, but I did save the best for last, and that is that core gaming backpack. Mobile Edge, these guys, they're over at mobileedge.com, and if I can get my copy up here, they have award-winning products with innovative features and edgy contemporary designs that empower you to look sharp and travel smart with your mobile tech. You know, that beloved tech of yours is expensive. Gaming gear, mobile tech devices are an extension of you. So give them the protection and style they deserve wherever you go. Again, find them at mobileedge.com and protect your tech with Mobile Edge. Bring it on. And then, of course,
yeah,
next weekend, guys, do not miss this. CyberCon. Christian.
Oh, wow, there's something in the corner I like there. It's third from the left at the bottom there. Wonder who that is.
Who could that possibly be? No, let's see. Ours is like up towards the middle, so you aren't talking about Geek Insider. Oh,
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
Christian, tell them about CyberCon next weekend.
Oh my good! I really cannot even describe this because Garrett had told me everything. Put that back up.
You got it.
I don't want
There you
anybody to
go.
see me embarrassed by this. What you see is what you get. Now, I can't even begin to describe CyberCon. Garrett told me about it like 2 or 3 times. It's like basically what you guys did. First of all, I want to thank you two, Meredith and Matthew. You guys were awesome. This is not only been one of the most interesting things that's a bad term, but I mean, it's just been an adventure into this, and this is going to help us out definitely next weekend when we do CyberCon, everything that we learned here. But it's basically a convention online. There will be a place where you can go and shop. There will be a place, and the way that they described it, it's just like a convention. If you don't want to go to that panel, you can go to the other panel. And this is going to be taking place live, 24 hours from beginning to end, starting on this coming Friday. So please check out, if you haven't gone now, go and subscribe to CyberCon and just keep up with the updates. You'll be getting more information. And yes, the Traveling TARDIS will be hosting 3 panels all weekend long, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, which would have been originally the dates of MegaCon had they went ahead and gone through things. But we're taking advantage of the time that they're off. And you doing cyber.
We're all buttons for punishment here, and I will definitely be sharing the good, bad, and the ugly of our experience here. StreamYard has been an amazing tool as far as live streaming to several different locations and things like that. And I've honestly been ignoring Sage. I love you, Sage, but I was like literally eyebrows deep in this thing, just trying to get it off the ground and keep it as organized as possible. And there have been a couple of 3 o'clock nights where I sent 3 o'clock in the morning, where I sent a message and I was like, no, that's not for you. So it's just one of those things. Like,
Right.
I'm not a dummy. I I'm just working at 3:00 in the morning with like one eye. So, there's just so much that goes on behind the scenes with this stuff. And I'm going to give kudos to them because I think it's like 52 or 57.
Yeah, it's more than 24. Right? Yeah, they're going, but
56 hours.
Friday through Sunday, I think.
Yeah.
And that was one of the things we had talked about was, maybe extending this to Friday and stuff. I said, listen, guys, we don't have that much time to put this together. First of all, second of all, it's our first time doing it. So we don't even know if we're going to get guests. All right. So I don't want to be
God.
right. I don't want to.
That was
right.
Oh, no.
And that was the thing. It was like chasing down people, and the first week where we decided that we were going to announce this, and we were starting to reach out to guests, and people were like, "Oh, I'm too busy," and then the world actually shut down, and we're like, "Well, what are you doing now?"
Yeah.
It's
they were a little bit more open.
Yeah, it's the same thing here on the radio show. I meant every time we tried to get a guest on our radio show, busy, we're doing something, we're at a convention. What are you doing today? Because I know you're not out at a convention or you're not recording anything. And we have a whole lineup of guests, at least going through April and then even going through May. So we're going to be going possibly through the summer, just guests and interviews, and we've got topics too. We were going to visit the anti-bullying topic on social media there. And I mean, there are a lot of things that we want to poke and prod and take a look at Big Finish, but it's all of a sudden it's just like, well, we have all this we have all these topics that we want to go over and take a look at, and like all of a sudden, oh, Christian, are you busy? It's just like, why? Yeah, because I'm not doing anything right now. I'll talk to you. So we had Russ Mullen, whose episode just dropped today. He was playing the Silence and the Teller. If you remember, what was it? Time Heist. He was the Teller with the big thingies and the Silence, and he also plays the Night King from Game of Thrones. We just did an interview with Andrew Cartmel. I don't know if you know for anybody who knows about the Timeless Child, the term, the Cartmel Master Plan got tossed around a lot. Well, we finally got to interview the man, and we asked him what he thought about his master plan and being involved with the Timeless Child, and he's got a lot to say about that.
So we have to tune in to that.
Oh,
Where
absolutely.
can we tune in to that?
The Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. You can go on our website, thelegendofthetravelingtardis.com, the Facebook page where we post everything, including, but wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts, on iHeartRadio. And trust me, we're not going to use this event to take advantage of asking people for likes on our Facebook page at all. So if you decide to go, go to the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS Facebook page. Check us out. We're always putting out news articles. If you love Doctor Who, wherever in the time frame, in Big Finish, in Classic, and New, definitely you want to check us out over there. I'm just going to leave this up for the rest of the time, but we're not going to stoop low to try to get likes for our Facebook page. All right, that's up to fun.
We wouldn't do that. No shameless promotion here. No,
absolutely not.
And we'll just kind of segue off of Christians. Make sure, if you're not already done so, that you subscribe to the Geek Insider channel on YouTube.
I won't be going to any cheap tricks during this show.
No product placement for Christian.
Sorry.
No, but we have the YouTube channel where we have, of course, the Lady Geek Quickie, or the Lady Geek Quickies, the interview that she did at the Space Coast Comic Con. We also have interviews that we have done in the past. This show is on there as well. All of the entire weekend of shows that are spliced up into little segments. This will be on our podcast too. We are all of our shows go into the podcast. And then I am starting a show this Wednesday. It will be on our YouTube channel at live Wednesdays. And then it'll be rebroadcast or posted to our podcast. We haven't figured out the day of the week yet, but we'll get that scheduled down. We were waiting for VC to be over. But again, and then like Christian said, follow us on Facebook. make sure that you stay abreast of Geek Insider, guys, because we've got more stuff planned. We've got giveaways that are going to bi-weekly giveaways that we're planning. Of course, we always have great articles. Alan Daniel keeps us up abreast of the tech side of things and cryptocurrency and blockchain. And then we hopefully, once the world starts back up, we'll start getting some more entertainment news and those geek movies that we all know and love so much. But other than that, we are, like it was said earlier, one of our great joys in life, everybody here is, and I think it was Rob that said it, is that we want to entertain. We want to make sure that folks have something to do. I've been practicing for this for a long time. I've been working from home. I'm an introvert. I do like to get out to the cons, but that's just because I feel, that's my world. I'm with like-minded people. But you put me in a crowd at Walmart and I could cut somebody pretty quick.
Nice.
I'm walking with my cane, and one of the worst things is for somebody to step in front of me and stop, because I really want to hit you with my cane, because you're going to make me walk around you, and that's extra steps and more pain. And you could somebody could get hurt in public. I'm getting kind of punchy here. I'm so ready for a drink. Meredith, I know you are tired. What else do we want to plug before we pull the plug?
Florida Geek Scene. Florida Geek Scene.
We got Florida Geek Scene here. Where are we?
And then
there we are.
West Orange Comics and Toys, please.
Yep.
Look for your schedule. Look for your schedule on Florida Geek Scene for your next convention. Whenever that's going to happen.
Mm-hmm. And we're also going to shout out West Orange Comics and Video Games, because that's where we headquarter. And these small shops need as much help as they can get. Give them some support, give them some love. Most of these guys will have are doing like online auctions or online sales. Some of them are having gift cards and things. If you can afford to, help them out, buy a gift card. When the stores open up again, then you can go and use them. And, we highly recommend that you do. So West Orange Comic and Orange and Video Games, make sure that, you throw out some love. If it's not them, your local comic book store, radio store, just any mom and pop shop. I also want to give a special shout out to
Terrence and the gang.
Independent and Terrence and gang. They were wonderful. I really wish that we had more time to give them and, really kind of march through the creative people who are there, who are collaborating and who are helping to build a network and put the creative people together to create really great things. They're doing amazing work, and they've got the Independent Creators Connection, the national magazine, and I want to say that is every 6 months. Don't quote me on that, but they actually have a magazine. So definitely go to their website, independentcreatorsconnection.com, and subscribe to their mailing list, but also, order their magazine. It's really got a lot of great content. I also want to give a shout out to Indie Originals. These guys were great. They are doing a contest and they are supporting the amazing comic book creators, authors, musicians. IndieOriginals.com. They also produce The Underpresence, which is a great show that is on YouTube right now. It is fictional characters, but real life paranormal investigations, and it's a really interesting dynamic, and it's a lot of fun. Having been to one of the events at the Space Coast Comic Con in February before everything shut down, I was able to actually see some of the equipment in action. It was really, really cool. So I wanted to give a special shout out to them. And who am I missing? Oh, NSC Live. They've off to Kevin. I just want to give them a lot of thanks for helping to promote us, get our channels on their channels and some of the things that they've donated. So it's really been wonderful to connect with them, and just, we've made friends, and we've made some really connections that hopefully will help all of us get to the next level. As for virtual con, and I'll give over the mic in just a minute, one of the things that I learned was that this can't be rushed, and it has to be, if you are thinking about doing a con, all right, if you're thinking about doing a virtual con, you really have to have your heart in it. It can't be because of the money. Think of it more as a service to others.
Yes.
And I think that passion and that love will flow to the people who come to you as guests, or who are like, hey, do you have a spot? And you try and accommodate them as much as possible. Try and keep it organized, and know what your limitations are. We fully expected that we were going to get some technical hiccups because everything's online.
Yes.
Everybody's online. And so there were going to be slowdowns and audio things. And, so bear with us. One of the things that we're planning on doing is taking these clips. They're like 2-hour clips, and we're going to parse them out into the different panels and make them into smaller bite-sized pieces. All of our hosts, like Christian, and I want to give a big shout out to Rob Anderson.
Yep.
He's, the Indie Advocate. He hosts the OnCon Facebook group. Definitely connect with him. He's doing amazing work, and all of the guests that he usually brings on for his panels, he does them daily.
And if
make
there's
those
anybody-
connections. Yep.
I was just going to say, guys, if there's anybody that you missed that you're wanting to connect with, that you want to know where their website is, the geekoutvc.com page has everybody. If it doesn't have them yet, it will, and that's going to stay. And we will build off of that on the next con. And so if there's anybody that you definitely want to check out, because there's a couple that I'm going to be going back to, but check out geekoutvc.com. Sorry, Meredith, go ahead.
Yeah, no, that was exactly what I was going to say. Is geekoutvc.com has a lot of our profiles, and they're the guest profiles. I'm not done because a lot of people were sending me information late, and I was like, dude, I'll get to you when I get to you. And the reason why is because we're not taking them down. Those profiles, when I say send me your profile pic, send me a video if you've got it, send me your social media links and a bio. Those are because we want to do this service for you. We want to help promote you because we have a platform that allows that. And so, to all our special guests, this is our gift. I mean, unfortunately, we can't pay for this stuff. You've all donated your time just like we have. And that is so appreciated. And if that's the one thing that we can give back to you, it's a home on the internet that you can refer to. And that's really where our heart is, because we love the indies. What Garrett was saying earlier, I don't think these virtual cons are going away. I think we're going to see more and more. And, so whether you're planning, right. So whether you're planning one or whether you're planning on going to one, kind of look at the people who are going, the people who are organizing it, because, at the end of the day, there's going to be a lot of scam artists that are out there and they're looking to make a quick buck.
Yep.
Be wary because they're out there and they will take advantage. So, I'm going to end it there. I just appreciate the hell out of everybody. I know it was Easter weekend, and one of my jokes was that you're kind of a captive audience. Like where else are you going to go? But we appreciate the attention that you've given us, the comments and things. We know that you've been engaged, and again, I just can't say thank you enough. Thank you.
Well, I'm going to end this by saying that, yes, thank you to everybody that attended, whether you were a guest host or a guest, or you just helped wrangle some people together. But this entire thing would not have happened without this lady. I had the idea, and then she just kind of ran with it. If she hadn't made the connections at Space Coast and just did all this legwork, and she's so, I don't want to say anal, but OCD maybe, that she wouldn't let me have any of the work. I'm like, Meredith, what can I take off your plate? She's like, nope, I got it. And I'm like, Meredith, you're up till 3. I know, it's another 3 o'clock morning. But she did that so that it could free me up to continue running Geek Insider and making sure that we're making the bread, because, we did this, at no charge to anybody. But Meredith put in a lot of long hours. And of course, I know Rhett is the owner of Geek Insider. He's behind the scenes, but he's our biggest cheerleader, especially with everything that's been going on. He wants to thank you all for being here as well, for the time, the products that people have given out, but mainly the time, because we all know that nobody had to do this. Nobody, this was not required of anybody. This wasn't, hey, do this and we're going to do this for you. And we all did it because we wanted to help each other. But Meredith, from Rhett and I both, thank you so very much, because we would have put on something, but it damn sure wouldn't have been as good as it was without you. So thank you so much. And I'm going to end it with that. Christian, Leo, y'all are family. Y'all are geeks for life, whether you knew it before or not. So
I do not want to be related to this man. I want no relation to Leo.
Oh,
Rob's
come
like a
on.
stepchild.
Come on now, Christian. Admit it.
And of course,
you're nothing without me.
Same thing goes to you guys, but in spades, as anytime that you guys got something going on that you want to promote, or you just want to get the word out, or hell, you just want to stop by and say hi, come on by. We'd love to have you guys, and we'd love to have you out.
It was great. It was great doing this. It was great connecting with the cosplay community. It's like in this time of just isolation and no conventions, it's like, even though I didn't get to pick up a camera, it was always great to see my friends.
Very much.
Okay. Yes.
And see, I hadn't gotten to meet a lot of you guys. I knew your names. I knew what you did, sorta, but I only knew of you because Meredith, she's stingy with her friends and she doesn't like to share them. But I'm really glad.
Am I really? Let there be light.
Pat's saying instead of turning the lights off, Pat's turning the lights on. The party. Is this a 2 a.m. last call light?
Because she's ready to get wasted. Let's get just.
Oh my God!
I started that an hour ago.
Yeah, we caught you right as you were taking that first drink of that beer too. It was perfect timing.
If she hasn't had a 5-minute conversation with Asphalt, she's not drunk enough.
Blue Moon. Yeah, and then after that starts to rum.
I'm heading for my Jim Beam. Say goodnight, Gracie.
Good night, Gracie. Well, real quick, let me thank Melanie and Jessica from the Legendary Traveling TARDIS on there. Yeah, check out Melanie's stuff on her Facebook page and all of her drawings. She's a talented artist, and check her out at the conventions, and Swung Song Cosplay on Instagram. Thank you guys.
Fantastic. Yes,
they had a great time too.
And I want to especially thank the Gotham.
No, we're done. We're done. Go away.
No. Too late. The Gotham Underground. Those people are always great. I love them.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to be giving some Meredith. Once Meredith and I get some time to rest, we're going to be thinking of some other things too, guys.
Go ahead.
We want to, build up our cosplay alley, and so we're going to have a lot more stuff coming. So we will be in touch. Thank you, gentlemen, again so much. Go enjoy the rest of what's left of your Sunday. Meredith, when you're near the computer, you're grounded.
I have a date with my couch right now.
Everybody out there who's still out there, thank you for joining us, and thank you for making it.
Thank you.
Can't do this without you guys, and I'm glad you stuck it out with us. And
all right.
We'll see you next time, I guess.
Okay, gang.
All right. This is like the long goodbye. Shut up.
Checking out.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Broadcast.
I told you I'm not going to stoop anything so low like that. I guess on Facebook, please.
Look, he's going to keep hitting buttons until you hit the one
exactly.
button.
Just hit the broadcast. Be done with it.
Get out of here. You're gone. Bye.
Bye.
Scram.
Look.